All right, we should be live. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? Hello, hello. Welcome to the Deadeye channel, where today we are entering into the culmination of a lot of work into this inventory management roguelike Megaloot. And the culmination of all of it is that we're reaching up past 100 floors today, as in the last and recent ones. We've reached 100 floors. Now, what is beyond? Well, hopefully survival. We'll see. I'll explain the strategy of how we got here and where we go from here as we go. But I hope you guys do enjoy this one, as it's been a time in the making for sure. All right, so let's go into it. Behold here. It's kind of crazy, to be honest, the spot we're at now. So let's just go ahead and attack and look as the enemies at floor 101 fall before us fairly easily. But it's not always going to be that way. We'll get into it. All right, sell some of this stuff. How we doing? Welcome, Changing Flask Lofi. Welcome to the stream. How we all doing? Welcome. Appreciate you guys coming around, those of you around. All right, so as we're going, the real big enemy, the thing we actually have to worry about in the long term, are these perfect slaves. Well, for now, we use them to stock up on plenty of armor. They do defend pretty well, and it seems at least that they're able to punch through even some of this armor, despite how much we can grab as it stands. Okay, and hopefully one more hit. Pop, get him down. So far, a big focus has been on Dazzle. Dazzle's a really interesting mechanic that I've actually spent a decent amount of time trying to explain pretty recently, because it does seem a little bit complicated, especially when you start seeing it like this, right? Especially as we get into this kind of area, because the numbers are just so crazy. What in the world's going on? I'm sure many people will wonder. Okay, anything here? Also, we have leather gear on. Leather gear gives you a chance to drop items every time you kill an enemy. That's why we get so much stuff for free. Just to quickly explain that to those unsure. But I'm sure many of you also are already aware of that. All right. So the way Dazzle works, from what I can tell here, is every time I attack any individual enemy, it applies a stack of Dazzle based on the amount of Dazzle that I currently have, which is 33,000. And then when I hit them again, that Dazzle pops, giving me armor here, as well as doing damage to them. Of course, these enemies don't have to worry about that as much. Dazzle gear when? Well, for now, mostly we just rely on the amount of Dazzle that I have on hand. You can see I have quite a bit. So with Demon gear and all this different attacks, right now we do 16 attacks. So we're hitting across these enemies with that. We get enough Dazzle to get ourselves a good amount of armor, although I can swap to Dazzle. I'll swap to Dazzle maybe in the next one, or in whatever battle comes up where we have a decent amount of these perfect slaves. Okay, take them out. Or, I believe perfect slaves is right. Sell these guys, okay. Okay, let's try it here. So, as we're seeing, we get around 1 million armor, right? 1 million armor, don't stop, put it to 500. Hey, here we go, we'll try our best. You can see we're getting about 1 million armor, ethereal armor going there. If I swap over to Divine, which hopefully we don't have to do forever, going forward, because Demon lets us kill a lot of enemies really quick, or get rid of them for us. But if we just swap over to Divine, all 16 of those attacks are hitting this one priest. You can see now, it says 4 million armor here, so 4 times as much, although really it's a lot more. It's a lot. It's a lot of armor showing up. Punch them again, and you can see our damage numbers getting into the billions, well into the billions, really. That is kind of the difference maker. So using the Divine set, instead of just hitting them, applying the sparkle to them, then hitting them again, breaking that, giving me that amount of armor, and then doing that amount of damage to them, instead, when the sparkle pops, we get all that armor, they do all that damage, it then reapplies onto that enemy. So then and then the hit also applying the Dazzle means that it's sort of doubling up the amount of Dazzle on them. Not every hit. That part's a little confusing to me still, but enough that we end up reaching some ridiculous amounts of damage and armor. Only if needed, though. Generally, you want to keep on the Demon here so that we can hit everybody and take them out quick and so on, the way of the turtle. Yes, the turtle. I've been thinking about this. So we can substantially improve our damage if we swap onto the turtle gauntlets, or use those a decent amount. And I'll hold on to it, I guess, but the issue with that, let's just sell all these and attack. The issue with doing it that way is our damage is actually not at all the problem, and probably never will be. At this point, we do about, 100 times, 100 times or 1,000 times? I don't know, the amount of damage that we have of armor at this point, so it's not really the point. They are going to around have the same proportions as I'm going to have here, so if I just keep getting armor, that damage is automatically going to go up since my damage is based on my armor, where if I don't have enough armor, they'll just end up killing me. So I need to focus on armor, I think, more so than damage. And the way to do that is really going to be going through Gloom here. Well, the Gloom's the Dazzle increasers, because that's going to increase every time I hit the amount of defense that I'm gaining from it, and also the amount of stacks applied to them. And then secondarily, or additionally, either way you want to look at it, the Golden Wardens, because that's going to increase the percentage armor. So these are the two things we care about, a lot more so than damage necessarily. How are we doing here? Every punch grants armor. With more armor, you hit them harder. Right, and that scales into itself, but you can see even already here, despite the amount of attacks that I'm doing, and therefore the amount of armor I'm gaining, these guys are starting to do some damage into that armor. Hopefully we can keep up with them decently well as we go. Okay, Divine Warden, that's a good sign. Within all that, then, I don't know if I really care that much about health. We'll turn down the music just a tiny bit. I like it a little bit loud during the intro. Okay, we'll move down a tiny bit. That seems good. All right, and then sell these. Armor, Vampiric Turtle, maybe the ring. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know if... So, there's the third thing. So the two things I care about, we could say, are Dazzle more so than anything, because that is just basically adding to the amount of armor that we're going to scale up into per hit and so on. And as our hits increase, because Leather gives us so many total attacks, that's going to be really the most important thing is Dazzle. Armor, of course, increases fantastic. Then we look into these things and we say, okay, like what, what next? We could say health doesn't matter, but what about toughness? How soon or how much is that going to matter? I'm not 100% on that one. We will see. Hold on. And then sell these. You turn off the AC. Okay. Attack. Let's see. All right. Okay. Anything in here? Precision also eventually we need, but to be fair, precision's not like immensely important. It's like it's important up to a point, but if I look at my precision right now, I think we're at 1,000 precision. It's not worth it for me to hold on to this in a slot unless I have something I really don't care about in here, but I suppose I have this. But inevitably I'm going to get rid of it either way. All right, sell. Made the fatal mistake of skimping on precision, and when dodge chance outpaced me, it ended my run. That's interesting. So maybe we do need to worry about precision a little bit. I don't want to skimp on it, but at the same time, we have 1,000%. I don't know. We'll see if that's enough. All right, attack. But it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Like, look at the amount of damage that I can take here. They're counter damaging me. That's why it's so much on that first hit. Okay, attack. And so it just like skyrockets, but I have the poison silver. I kind of got rid of Royal. I've been bouncing around on the issue of Royal, but the problem is that per attack I do 16 now. So with leather. So if I swap to Royal from that, then it's only going to be. I'll only do 3 attacks, the base amount of attacks, although I'll have 10 turns to do it in, so the math there just doesn't really check out for me. Faith as well I don't think matters, because we're really saying if damage is amplified by armor anyway, and it's already at a scale that's so high, I don't think I'm really going to need anything besides armor going forward. I'll hold on to these Faith necklaces, but no thanks to the rest. We really want to hold out for Gloom. For now, I'll do these, because I know I'm still going to want these. Ideally, we get enough Wardens and Gloom to just always put this into here. If not, we'll do other things, I suppose. Precision probably will be the next step, and then rings are potential, but let me look at my toughness. What we got on toughness now? Like, I'd want to have at least some toughness. 60%. Feels like it's going to be okay. Trade the boots for the Faith necklace. Trade the boots for the Faith... Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, I certainly don't care about the boots, but I don't know that I want Faith. Like, I'm not expecting because of leather that we're going to need... to hopefully even use the power masks, which technically power and faith both can have some help, but yeah, our damage is just, it's so high, I just don't know about it. I'll also get this though, like it's better than nothing. So I see another faith necklace, I'll swap this, or I'll swap, like we have a couple things sitting in our inventory that just aren't important. Swap this around, keeping the boots. I'm not keeping them like with any level of intent. It's just neither one. More think of it like the boots are totally irrelevant to me, but the Faith necklace probably also is. Less so, maybe, but it might just be, you know, that might just be it. Swap these. I definitely don't need this much precision, though. This is excessive. Yeah, but eventually, unfortunately, okay, my goodness. Do we really need this much? Like, how much are we going to be gifted today? Okay, interesting. I really think, yeah, what matters is going to be Gloom. If we can get some Gloom, it'd be so fantastic. Some Gloom necklaces, because that's going to extend the amount of time we can use Demon Ring for, which just speeds everything up so much. Crown. We had talked about this before, that the Crown is better than using both the masks and the Wardens, but I'm pretty sure we're never going to use masks again at this point. Again, because the damage increase is just not important anymore. So I'm going to say we probably don't... Well, actually, technically, right? Replace the precise shirt. Yeah, we do have an excess amount of them. Okay. All right, pop through these guys. So a set like this is going to be the first type of set that will get me to my death in terms of using Demon. And really anything else, I guess, I'm assuming here, but that's okay. We managed for now, so clearly we're doing well enough on that end. Just definitely... I'm looking forward to when I have to swap to Divine in some ways, but also, my goodness, it's gonna be much longer battles. Well, maybe not really though. Not like that much longer because they still, no matter what, they have 3 turns of delay. Let's see, sell. We'd love to see that. All right, and yes, indeed, we do have the new Ethernet cable, so I am safe on that end. Should be a lot more stable this time around, you know. All right, attack these guys. Nothing. Okay. And yeah, so in terms of... So I do have definitely still some questions, though, in my mind when it comes to what exactly Dazzle does. Like, how does it stack up? Because I get to these really, really crazy numbers when I have the Jade that I don't know... Like, in my head, the way that it works is that you hit, and then you hit again, and it pops it and reapplies it, so then it's doubled. And then you hit again, and it pops it and reapplies it. Now it's tripled, and then quadrupled, and you know, up like that. So eventually, be 10 times the amount. Really, it'll be total 16 times the amount of my Dazzle. Will be what I'll be applying myself to armor per hit by the time we get to the final hit. That I think is how it works, but it should be how it works. I'm just not 100% confident in that. What is the casual 24 billion damage? Fair and balanced build. True. Yes, it is how it goes. One of these in here. Can't reroll the shop now. True. Yeah, rerolling shop is is long gone at this point, but that's okay. But you know, it means we're going to be doing a lot less searching and a lot more leather finding or skipping, which is good in terms of speed, but not the best in terms of finding things for sure. Still, though, leather is pretty strong, and it's nice to be able to use it at this stage of the game. Okay. Pop. Pop. Gosh. And then you can see here that I'm not getting any more armor for hitting this guy, unlike the previous ones. That's because I already have so much ethereal armor that I think that the stacks popping are just not applying, maybe? Like, I don't know. Armor that disappears after the end of the battle. Receive ethereal lock after taking damage. I never received... Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe... No, did I take damage? I'm not sure how that works. It's a lock? Okay, so I must be... Maybe... Okay, gotcha. I was trying to think out of my head previously, like, okay, what's causing me to no longer get higher amounts? Then... Okay, gotcha. So all this. So is there a way around that happening? Like, will you do damage to me? You won't here, so I should be able to continue gaining, right? And then even here you won't. So, but then, okay, yeah, then I continue gaining. And then I get hit with this. What happens there? What happens that causes the lock to break? Because they're definitely not getting through my armor. Receive a ethereal lock after taking damage. Unable to receive armor. Let me think. Do we know? Silver Royal, that is a way around the lock. Okay. That's interesting. Silver Royal. Silver Royal. But Silver cleanses that. Oh, it cleanses the lock. Oh, wait, no, does it? Oh, it's cleansing the lock. Oh, it's taking damage means taking damage to your armor, is what you're saying. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe, I mean, maybe that would be worth considering in the long term then? Not sure, not sure. Because that would be quite a lot. That would be quite a lot of extra damage and armor. 10 turns of... No, it wouldn't be, though, because it's only... Again, no. It wouldn't be because 16 hits times 2 is going to be 32 hits, where over the course of 10 turns, that's only going to be... Well, yeah, that's only going to be 30, right? Because three attacks per turn. Roll straight up. Nope. AV debuff. Yeah, but I think leather is the stronger of the two, rather than royal. And I can't swap out Glimmer at that or yeah, I can't swap out Dazzle at that point. Jade said so. Okay. You sure sell? But oh my goodness, I hope we find more of these Dazzle necklaces. Maybe we have reached the end of Dazzle necklaces, but I hope not. The way could be replace demonic with royal. Yeah, but then the issue is we need Jade no matter what, so that wouldn't work. I have thought, yeah, I've thought about some of these same things myself. Is like, how would I potentially be able to have all of the things that I hope for in life, you know? I can't swap out silver because I need that in order to cleanse, and if I would need to have at least silver, royal, and then that leaves only one left, and it either would have to be silver, royal, and then it has to be dazzle. Golden warden, hey, there it is. That's pretty good. All right, swap out, sell. All right. At least we're getting these. So these are still going to be super useful for us. We just have to keep going with them for now. Of course, we really hope to find Dazzle, because that's going to be more powerful than anything, but okay. And then is there a chance with toughness? That's still what it all kind of, like, what it boils back down to in my mind is, like, I'm realizing, okay, power doesn't matter at this stage, neither does faith, because we do enough damage. It's just irrelevant. What matters is defense. But with that in mind, toughness helps with defense, but only against precision, right? Or not precision, but penetration, and I don't know if we'll ever have a lot of penetration. Safest most auto build would be silver, royal, and dazzle. Yeah, next up is turn rain off. True. Have arrived. How you doing, Payne? Welcome. I would wonder your take on this. So I've been thinking about it. It feels at this point, and now I have processed and recognized what you were talking about previously. Power doesn't mean anything at all, and never will again to me, because at this point we are doing, well, once I do attacks, it feels like we're doing like 10 or 100 times more, no, 100 or 1,000 times more damage than we are armor. So it just doesn't matter. Damage doesn't matter at all, and never will again. Because their damage, someone's damage at least, will always be strong enough relative to their armor slash defense slash whatever, that my armor is more important than my damage. So, I think. So with that in mind, we say power doesn't matter to me anymore, faith doesn't matter to me anymore, because those are both just damage-based. Armor matters to me, and dazzle matters to me, so we have armor and dazzle to focus on. And then, does toughness matter to me? And will they ever have enough penetration to get through 660%? Like, how realistic is that? Because that'd be a problem. Armor, turtle paw, and dazzle. Yeah, not turtle paw. So, not turtle paw, not locket, and not these ones we don't care about anymore. The issue with these three is all of them are damage based. Somewhat matter, but focus armor damage. Okay, would you be able to explain why damage will ever matter to me again? Does power increase, for example, does power increase my dazzle amount? Or no? That would be interesting to know. Let's see, then we go with you, dismantle. You need power for dazzle amount, or what is the, does it increase dazzle? Because that would be, I don't believe that it does though. So, like, damage means nothing to me at this point, as far as I'm aware, because if I increase my armor, I increase my damage. I don't believe that that's the case. Like, as I increase my armor, I'll increase my damage by the same percentage. So if I'm pretty sure, like, my armor is what's failing me first, so if I increase my armor to try to outstack the failing of the armor, it'll also increase my damage by enough that damage will be covered as well, correct? Or are you saying my percentage damage has to increase even further, even though I'm increasing my armor and therefore also damage? Good to play Scout, Darkness, Demonic as friend. Scout, Darkness, Demonic. I haven't played that one, so I'd have to think about it. Scout for dodge, Darkness. See if I can find. I'll have to find a Darkness thing to think about that, because I haven't really used Darkness. Or Shadow. What? It is Darkness, isn't it? And then Demonic. Scout for dodge, Demonic for hitting everybody. What's Darkness do again? 800 billion damage is just enough to get by, so save power. Okay. I mean, even at the case that I'm at right now, I can swap these out and see. Sell all. Let me see how much damage I do against this one. Oh, you break armor, so you are uber annoying. I would like to get to the bajillions of damage, so those guys are going to be annoying even then. Okay, we'll take the pause then. Sell. Gosh dang it. I want to fight a bunch of just the priests so I can see what because I'm pretty sure my damage can go up to 300 or 400 billion at this point. But then these guys are annoying, so they pop in to cause me problems. Okay, interesting. But then like if I were to double my armor, I would be doing the same damage as you, but with twice as much armor as I have now. Like, isn't that better than going for more power, which just gets me there faster? Paw, Faith, and Mask Crown, if you don't have any of the three. Paw, Faith, and Mask Crown don't have any of the three. Okay, here we go, so I can test it here. Okay. Okay, let's see what my damage gets up to against priests. Especially if there's another priest. There's not another priest behind, though, unfortunately. 70 billion. Gosh, when there's 2 priests in a row, we get to really see, but... okay, sell... Gosh dang it. Show me the big priest area. Paw, Faith, and Mask, if you don't have those, use Crown. Paw, Faith, and Mask. Use Crown. Faith, Glove, Mask, Crown. So, my damage will already get to 800 billion without me doing that. Why? Yeah, I just scale my damage. I don't want damage. Like, I might want damage. Let me think about why I would want damage, though. Sell all. Open. Sell. Okay. I want there to be 2 of them in a row so I can see. Because I'm pretty sure I can get up to like 300 or 400 billion against these sorts of enemies. Okay, pop. There it is. Okay. Okay, 200. Why do you not give me any more at this point? Because you lock me, which is annoying. Okay. Okay, 200 billion, we'll say then. Though it is kind of dependent on who I'm fighting. Swap you on. I have 900 billion damage with Demon Ring. With Demon Ring. Okay, gotcha. How do you... Okay, because you want that, and you're saying that's not enough? Why do you want Demon Ring? I guess you just keep going as long as possible. Okay. I mean, Turtle Gauntlet will get me up higher faster. To avoid lock, you would have to go back to the Royal set. Do you go to the Royal set? You keep Leather, don't you? Because Royal set doesn't matter, because it doesn't increase your amount of attacks. Like, it decreases your amount of attacks, so it will decrease the amount of armor that you gain. I don't use Royal. Yeah, Royal doesn't make any sense. Like, it would stop me from getting lock, but it would stop me from getting lock in order for me to just be a much weaker character for 10 straight turns and then hopefully win by the end. Just swap with Dazzle Ring when in danger. Yeah, I'm in the same spot there. So you're saying, does Warden... You're having a tough time getting through them in terms of damage at that stage. That's surprising to me. Okay. So, okay, interesting. So it is still focused on damage. I was trying to think about it in my head previously, like, what would be the limitation? Because if you increase armor in Dazzle, you increase damage. Only salvage armor early game, what is the best? It depends on your build, right? Depends on your build. But if you're talking about this build specifically, with this build, early game. So with this build, base armor doesn't really matter at all. So I wouldn't really concern. I mean, you need enough to survive. You just want to kind of survive until you can get to the Wardens and then start focusing on those, and then get to the Gloom and focus on that, and then swap from Warden to focusing on Crown. And then I think never focus on Mask. I think you just go Crown from then on, technically. Let's see. Tell you my health, toughness, precision for floor 200. 126k health. Do you feel like health matters at the point that you're at? Or ever will matter? Let's see. 1.2k toughness, 1.5k precision. Okay, precision 1.5k. I think I'm at 1,000, right? I'm at 1,000 precision. And then toughness. Do you feel like toughness is going to be relevant as well? Health will matter only if your toughness lags behind. My toughness can't lag behind. Unless it's the 3rd turn, I guess we're saying. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Which means you just focus on toughness, but then you're focusing on toughness anyway. Okay, gotcha. I could see that. Interesting. Scared of spiders, but consuming giant ring gives toughness. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, so you might as well have high toughness. Well, no, you might as well have health. Both, I guess? Yeah. Interesting. It's a lot to exchange. I could also just get one Throngler and shoot myself up to that amount. But we're saying it both matter, or really, I don't know if health matters. Because spiders could only kill you if it's on the 3rd turn, and by then they'll be dead anyway, won't they? Yeah, no, why would you care about spiders? You kill them 1st turn, don't you? Okay, or 2nd turn if not. Sell. Pop, pop, pop. At that stage of the game, do you not kill them in the first couple turns? Giant rings solve both problems too. Yeah. Although I don't know if either of those are problems. I mean, toughness is a problem, I suppose. Is toughness? Well, I don't know. I don't know when toughness becomes a problem. Only if they get high enough penetration, and it has to be the only ones that matter in terms of being high enough penetration would be the priests, because everyone else would be dead. especially if you get enough dazzle going. You gotta be wary of the armor breakers, really. Unless you kill them in one turn. Which, if you have enough dazzle, you would. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see. 6.7k base health with 1.7 or 6. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I'm trying to think about why that would be the case. It is annoying to no longer be getting dazzle. What's your dazzle up, by the way? I think that's also pretty interesting to me. Armor up. Yep. I think armor is a no-brainer. Then again, we might not be able to get the other things, so maybe it's a good idea to turn... I'll just turn in the most... I think armor is going to be the most efficient thing because it'll increase my damage, and dazzle, of course, over everything else always, no matter what. I don't think damage is going to be more important. I think damage is something you would choose if you didn't have those as options, and that would solve the issue for you, but it's kind of a background answer. Sell... 34k. Yeah, that's the real thing, is dazzle. I need to get more dazzle, because my dazzle's only at... Well, my dazzle's... I have 33, so I guess I'm pretty close. But I need more dazzle. Sorely low on dazzle. Because more dazzle, like, if you could have 35 or 36 or 37, that would do more for you than any other stat you could probably possibly boost right now. It's just, you can't because it's so hard to find them, I'm guessing. My base dazzle, okay, base dazzle is, your base is 32, okay, gotcha, so I need it, yeah, quite a bit more. I was gonna say, yeah, because I think if I had focused dazzle in a different way earlier, I could have a lot more dazzle, and honestly, I wasted my time with the masks. I didn't need them to get here, and I wouldn't have needed them to get further than here either. Only get one dazzle neck every 5 floors, gotcha. Never one focus. Yeah, I should have focused it earlier. The wardens are nice, but the dazzle, I think dazzle, yeah, it's interesting. But I was thinking I should be doing each of them. That's why I didn't just 100% focus dazzle, because I thought I should be doing a mixture of them, when I think that's a mistake. Power and all that. Power, I really don't need any of that. I mean, I needed it. Well, maybe I would need it after here, but I'll get it after here, where I won't get dazzle necklaces necessarily as much after here. Do Faith and Gauntlet whenever you can. All a learning experience. I think Faith and Gauntlet's a mistake. Like, I should always... It should be the opposite of that. Faith and Gauntlet should be what I do after the fact. Why do you not roll in the shop? I don't have any... We're in stages where that's not relevant anymore, unfortunately. It costs 8 billion to roll. Okay, let's see. Pop. Faith and Gauntlet whenever you can. It's interesting because it's sort of the opposite. I learned your advice from the past one and realized why it was right, and now you're giving me the opposite advice. I have 10k% plus faith. Yeah, but if you had more dazzle and had more armor, you wouldn't need so much faith because you would have more damage. Oh, it's got to be... It's hard to get. I mean, how much is it going by up each floor? If you're almost to double the floors, I don't know. Like 50 billion, 100 billion? I have no idea. That is very hard to guess. I'll get this one because it's still better than that. So, okay. I'll take this, put this in, dismantle. Like, I think percentage increase wise, getting one of these increases it, well, really, if I go to my armor, 2.2k%, so getting one of these in right now increases it by 5% or so, but then also increases damage by the amount of increase from armored attacks, which is 1.8k%, where just getting armored attacks would just increase armored attacks. So I'm increasing both when I get armor increase, because it stacks through the two. So this is, like, unbelievably valuable by comparison. Like, the amount of increase you get from increasing armor is, like, because you look at the first, like, what is the first thing that throughout, like, if you have multipliers like that, I believe. I guess it's all being multiplied. But this increases base armor, which then increases armored attack. Or increasing armored attack doesn't increase base armor. And then increasing armored attack then increases, yeah, like, think of it like a row of multipliers or additions, I believe. Increasing base armor, or like increasing multiplier on base armor, whatever, increases armored attack, which then also is increased by power, right? It's not exponential. Not exponential, but it's order. Order doesn't matter? I don't know about that. I'm thinking about it. Like, generally in multiplication, it doesn't matter, I think. Like, would it be the same? Would it be the same answer if you flopped them all around? I mean, like, technically it should be. Technically, it should be, I think. Higher percentage. That is odd. Right, yeah. Like, that should be the case, but that doesn't really make sense to me. Because, well, let's think. Power is or isn't increasing base armor. Base armor can be increased through power. No, base armor can't be increased through power because I'm thinking of Dazzle. Dazzle, so, wait, if power increased Dazzle, it would work that way, but power doesn't increase Dazzle. But then power increases Dazzle, power increases armored attack damage. Does this increase Dazzle? No. Does anything increase Dazzle? That would be a nice thing. I guess it doesn't, so maybe that would be, like, an increase to Dazzle would be... Dazzle flat number increase. Yeah, I guess it's just whatever gives you the most percentage growth. Which is still... Is it this one, or would it be power? But power doesn't impact your armor. Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't know if I care about... Yeah, that's what it is. It's, there's two things that I care about. There's armor and there's damage. Which one's more important? Armor increases armor and damage. Damage increases only damage. That's what matters. So if I get a 5% increase to my armor, that's a 5% increase to my armor and damage. Or if I get a 5% increase to my damage, that's a 5% increase to my damage and not armor. Armor is damage, but damage is not armor, right? So that's the important distinction. It's the flip-flop of it. It's not the math of it. It's that they don't go both ways. Elemental damage for increased Dazzle. No, unfortunately not. That's what I'm missing. I was thinking, like, I know there's something in here that makes sense, but it's just that's not fully coming together, but that's what it is. Okay, pop. Sell. Okay. Be a point where power will give a bigger increase than armor. To damage, but not to armor. And I think armor fails first. It's got to. Before damage. And if it doesn't... And also, like, we can always swap to Dazzle. If we can still kill them with Demon, then I can just, as soon as that happens, throw on a Power Mask. And until then, throw on armor. Gotta balance it. You gotta balance it, but only when you have to. Until then, why bother, right? Like, what's the point of focusing in on damage when armor is what's going to keep me from winning these with Demon? First, I guess. And then if we swap to damage, that'll resolve it. It won't even really resolve it. Damage will never really... Would damage ever resolve it? I think. Because damage doesn't increase... Yeah, damage doesn't increase armor. Only Dazzle increases armor. Okay, 62 billion. Let's see. Sell. I gotta think about that. I'm not sure if there would ever be a point where that would be the other way around. Faith is your cane, well, low damage will be your broken leg. Faith is... Well, Faith doesn't help me at all. Faith and divine and... Or sorry, Faith and armored attack and power are all the same thing. They're just damage increasers, where armor and Dazzle are damage and armor increasers. Hit 100 floor without Dazzle. I've been thinking about it. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know necessarily how. You can't do it via Turtle, because you'll have two sets. You can have two sets of Perfect Slave. Think about that. You could maybe do it with just enough raw armor, I guess, or health. But you couldn't do it with life. Maybe with life steal. It's kind of crazy. Dismantle this one. The fact that you haven't encountered elite perfect slaves or clerics, as you call them, terrifying. Gotcha. Let's see. Pop. Elite? I believe I have. The green ones, right? I'm pretty sure I got that a little bit last time. Royal Berserker can hit 100, I believe. Can hit 100. Oh, matter what power is increasing by 10%, but armor is only increasing by 1%. At that point, for power, no. Only when damage is the problem, not until then, right? So like right now, I have enough damage to kill everybody instantly, except the perfect slaves have endless block for 2 turns or 3 turns or whatever. So that means armor is all I care about. All I care. I do not care about damage at all, because damage is well over what I need. Only when armor becomes a problem would I have to swap over to the Glimmer, or when I can't kill these guys. When I'm not strong enough to kill these guys, or maybe these guys, with this within the 2 turns, then I'd also want more damage. But right now, Like, that's the point at which we test it. It doesn't even really matter what's the bigger percent. It's all about armor and dazzle at this stage of the game. Let's see. Really haven't found dazzle in a long time, though, huh? I think the problem is that the health of the enemies is exponential function. Yeah. So eventually that'll be a problem because I'm linearly increasing my armor, which is linearly increasing my damage. I mean, yeah, just by a lot, I guess, because it's amplified so much. But yeah, eventually I would want more. I mean, eventually you kind of want more both, but I'm scaled clearly so much more into damage than I am into armor at this point. Because, like, I mean, you can see it on the screen. Got to try to optimize it. Not until I have to. Yeah, right? Like, right now I don't have to. Right now I have to optimize it for more armor. I'm unoptimized in terms of armor. And I will be for a long time. Pain might disagree, but logically I don't know how that could be the case. Dazzle, your armor increases cubically. Cubically. I have no idea. Yeah, what amount of... Yeah, but I mean, we'll know exactly when we hit that point, and I can swap to Dazzle and be super infinitely good, but then we just have to put in some damage and swap back and kill everybody again. Because, like, the percentage increase we're going to get from Armored Attack or Power or Faith at this point is going to be way higher than Armor or Dazzle will give, or at that point anyway. But once we get there, we'll still have this to make us, like, 100 times stronger with one shift. So, Dazzle's the only one that's cubic. Dazzle's the only one that's cubic. What does cubic mean? I would love a... Give me some math lessons here, okay? I had actually a stream previously where a viewer of mine explained to me how, I guess, computers work in terms... And I don't even remember anything about it. I gave a recitation at the end of all of it of how... What was it? Like, how... There's like ones and zeros or whatever, how those systems works, and it's just all gone, you know. Even with closing my eyes and reciting it, so it's just all gone. It's a base multiplier. Dazzle's the only one that's cubic. It's a base multiplier. Well, let's see. Dazzle is good because each time it hits, it adds itself, and so it sort of it doubles basically, or no. Each time, no, it doesn't double. So, yeah, that's a good question. As Dazzle armor increases the baseline, and armored attack, power, armor percent, and faith, I'll multiply that power. Yeah, in regards to attack, although in regards to defense, power, faith, and armored attack don't do anything. So that's, yeah, like, so eventually we will shift back into this, but only when we need to. And hopefully we don't have to for a long time, because that allows it to go much faster. But honestly, yeah, it's interesting because, like, I wonder when that point would be. I probably don't have to go into it too heavily, because if we increase armor by enough, like either way, it should be fine. Put this in Divine Crowns if we have to, where we focus this first, and then ideally never focus masks. We'll see. Multi-hit and Dazzle is an insane armor multiplier. Almost 40 hours in the game, and it's my 5th run. Floor 200, wow. Yeah, gotcha. Perfect cube or whatever. Yeah, I hope to find more Dazzle one day. Anyway, perfect cubic or whatever. Let's see. Refresh. Let's see. Basic bracket before everything. Is it multiplying by 2? So here, I don't know if that's accurate. So I believe what happens is when you have Dazzle on, I hit the enemy apply Dazzle. I apply 33k Dazzle to them. Then I hit them a second time. I have 16 hits. So second time, which breaks that Dazzle, it reapplies itself, and I add another 33k. That puts it up to 66k. Then I hit them again, breaks that Dazzle, reapplies it, and now we're up to, and then I apply my thing, up to 99k. Then I hit it again, break, apply, and so we're basically, and then all of the way up there is being added to myself, but the only ones that really matter are those last few hits, because by that, well, actually, yeah, sort of. But by that point, it's a really high number, so these early ones are only giving me 33k, then 60k armor, then 99k, then whatever, where those last hits are giving me 330k, or at 10, I guess, roughly, and then, and so on. So I don't believe it's actually doubling, is it? Try to replicate your build from the last night, but just died at 468. When do you swap to this leather setup? You shouldn't be dying at 68 unless you don't have royal poison silver. I don't know what would be causing that. I think. But actually, yeah, by the time you get there, though, leather might be worth, yeah, swap to leather by then, maybe. Let's see. 2 is a placeholder number. Replace 2 with N, so it's N Dazzle. But it's not multiplied. It wouldn't be 2. It wouldn't be 2 times 2 times 2. No. So you're presenting it as in brackets 2 times 2, and then multiply by 2, multiply by 2. It's more like, let's see. Let me think. How would you think? Let's see, because it's not doubling each time. It's increasing only by dazzle amount each time, I believe. So it would be n plus n, and then then that applies to me. How would that go? But you're saying n times n times n times n. No, definitely not that. Or at least it shouldn't be, because that's not how it's presenting itself. It's dazzle to the nth, maybe. There's a plus in the middle, not a times. Okay, yeah, maybe. That's what I was thinking. Is I don't believe that it would work that way. Though that's how I thought it would work earlier on, actually. When Payne and I were talking about it at one point, and then I was trying to explain what I was understanding of it. I was believing that it was hitting and then like reapplying, and then I was applying the new amount of dazzle. But like I don't apply like this 33k. This is the only amount I can ever personally apply in one hit. It's just that 33k is then added to whatever amount of 33ks we've already had up to this point. So without Dazzle Necklace, that becomes 33k times 16. But with Dazzle Necklace, that becomes 33k, which then is like plus 33k, and then to the 16th or something, like in parentheses. Is that how that works? Or what's that? There's a anyway, perfectly back then. Yeah, you did. What you were saying there made and it was a lot lower, because I thought about it after and I was like, no, yeah, what you're saying would be a lot lower than what I'm saying, and actually that would make a lot more sense. But I don't remember how you, because you at the time you were like, oh, I'm just tired, don't mind me, I probably am not even using the right one or whatever. I think at the time you had some kind of thing like that, and I was like, is it worth it to ever turn in divine these just because of how rare it seems to be to find what I want, or is that's just never going to be a thing? You need to game kids to stay at school. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it genuinely does help with things like this. Let's see. It's in an equation, but there are too many people, and I'm too afraid to be wrong. Don't turn in rings. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. That's interesting. I just need. But imagine the amount of more dazzle, and dazzle. You said it's cubic. You know, it's got cubes in it. Let's put this one here. So you know what I mean? All right. Pop. Maybe not. Gotcha. If you don't have Dazzle Necklace, use the ring. So, here's thank you, Dazzle Necklace. Thank you. I mean, I'll put this in here, and I'm guessing you're probably right. But if Dazzle is so much more valuable in terms of the amount of multipliers that it'll add to you relative to these things, isn't even this good? I mean, it's certainly nowhere near as high, but it's even if it's like a third, let's say, of the power or so of what I normally would turn in, or maybe even half of what I consider turning this in, right? So. Or no. Anyway, dismantle. Yeah. 33k plus 33k plus 33k. Multiplied by armored attack, by power, by faith. Well, that's for damage. If we're just talking about the amount of armor added is more what I'm focused on. But if you're saying for damage, yeah. Scale's way better for damage and armor scaling. Yeah, I tend to lean that way. My thought before starting the stream anyway was that I would just go Divine Warden and Glimmer almost as much as possible, but read the death message. Oh, should I? Oh yeah, I guess I can at this. Yeah, if I find the death message, maybe we'll take a look at him. I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. I'm not going to care about, I don't think I'm going to care about health or toughness, although I'm a little worried with toughness. Dazzle / Jade is meta. Yeah. Let's see, sell. Okay, pop these guys. Yeah, Dazzle is monstrously strong. I got to think about it. Like whenever Payne says anything, I got to be like, okay, like if I don't agree fully, I got to be like, okay, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Is there something that I'm missing right now? You know, like some reason why these are going to be worse. I mean, like I do believe there will come a point where I might need to turn in power. It's meta until the PTB goes live. True. Dazzle Jade is really, did they decrease the power of Jade, or did they increase something else's power so much that Dazzle is no longer powerful? That's surprising to me. I did hear the stuff about changing leather around, but leather would still be monstrously powerful, even if you decrease it by 1, as at least based on what I heard would be the case. Made PS immune to debuffs. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Have to think about a way around that. Luckily, after this point, we're going to be swapping to, like, this is the culmination of basically a lot of how do I make something that's just as good as possible, which is, like, and really as good as possible, saying that physical damage is probably worse than armored attack with that presupposition, because I don't know for sure if that's the case. It feels like it could be because of Jade. It's not 100%. I think it probably is true, but... real cost is 300p. Do not discard leather. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, and I think leather you have to keep with. I'm just saying, when it comes to this whole, the meta's changing aspect, I was trying to think of why. So if we're saying that they're not getting Dazzle applied to them, how do you survive enough turns without Dazzle? We were just talking about this, and I'm not so sure I know. Maybe you can still use Dazzle, though, to up armor by enough that you can survive that amount of turns by killing the other enemies, and then having a low enough attack damage. Blackthorn would be a good answer. Blackthorn with Dazzle. Maybe. Best rebalancing patches are the ones that don't nerf, but make other options viable. Yeah, I think I agree. I had heard that somewhere, but I'm not... Like, I actually was thinking about that earlier today, to be honest. It's funny, like, the minds connect, but, okay. Now we say, I'll go with this one, dismantle. Because, yeah, like, I don't care about the leather decreasing in value concept. I also don't necessarily care about the enemies changing in the way they work to a certain extent. But I think when it comes to, like, nerfing, like, massively nerfing certain items, I don't know if I love that idea. Okay, attack. Okay. Because then it just kind of makes characters... Like, it'd be better if I could have a different character that you amp. Okay. Excuse me. Dynasty's floor record. Okay, death message. Is this just says... Who's, okay, well, congrats on getting it this far. Okay, gotcha. Just make things feel crappier. Yeah. Because it's like, you fall in love with a certain type, and then it's like... But I feel like... And instead, if they were to amplify some of the types of units that are... kind of lacking. Although we'll see. I haven't taken a good enough look yet at certain units. Like, I'm excited to see how strong. One thing is being able to apply effects to everybody, potentially with Cinder and some of these other things might be interesting. So an elemental build, I suppose. Another option. There's. But I wouldn't want to build it like this. Like, my thought is, going through all the different characters, it'd be interesting to go through all the different characters, but with a focus on... How do I want to say? With a focus on their specific type more than anything else. So not just like, oh, I'll just do, this character that has a useless ability, and then we'll just literally play this, but I'll just play that character, right? Like, that just kind of feels like against the point. Let's put this in. So I would rather it be like very focused on what they use, like I did with Blackthorn, where it's like Blackthorn, and now we just say no attack at all. We'll just do counter damage and focus on that. Like, that's a really cool concept, and that could have actually gone quite a lot further, I think. I mean, late in the game we went with some Jade because I really hadn't gone Jade by that point, but I think it's a cool idea to try to just 100% make whatever they have work. What do I want? Anything? Who do I not like in here? I guess we're saying we don't go... I mean, I'll have an option to go with this later if I want to, but I guess I feel okay about not going with Ring. Demon Armor. Oh, yeah, I did have Demon Armor. Well, we'll get Demon... okay, well, I'll put you here. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. Still Demon Armor. Yeah. Useless Demon. Yeah. Yep. I didn't see the one useless. There was one useless, but it's okay. We're going to have use that we're going to have to determine which one's better than or whatever as we go, and that one was the least good one anyway in my mind. Pop. Okay. Alright. Get you down. Sell. Okay. What really matters, yeah, if we ever find Jade necklaces... Yeah, I mean, rings are going to be quite a lot less efficient, and if inevitably we're going to have to turn certain other things in, it's fine to turn them in now. That's what I'm thinking with the necklaces. I'm not so sure about power masks. Okay, good. Another necklace. That feels good. There's a chance with toughness, but we'll get enough of it over time. Game's great. The gear acquisition process feels lacking as you're rushing for meta as opposed to feeling like you're at the mercy of RNG. Yeah, meta's right. It'd be better, I think, and it will be. It'll be interesting to try out. To just say, like, okay, it's okay if we don't get to, like, because I think after 100 floors, the game feels very different. It is cool, though, to try to go for some crazy records and everything, but I think you don't want to do that every time, right? You don't want to just say, okay, yeah, take this, but then only go for meta. Because it ruins the fun, I think, of other characters that I want to try without. And especially now that I know as much as I do about the game, I think I could get it going interestingly. Like, previously, because I've already played, I played Lifesteal, or, you know, I've played a few of these characters. I played the Warrior, I played the Vampire, and I played the Scout. But those 3 streams were done without the understanding that I now have, where if I played them again, I would, like, Scout, I'm going to have to play again. I really want to see how do I go 100% in on just dodging. I've also read into, I think at that point, for like the next streams on this, I'm gonna swap over to the beta because I want to see it as like modern as possible and just see where they're going. Especially because I think Scout is going to become very interesting from what I've read, and I want to give that a go. Okay, let's see. Oh damage! Oh damage! How you hurt me so? Okay, pop. Okay, pop you, and pop them. Vampire is great. Yeah, Vampire is really interesting. So I'm excited to see those characters again from fresh eyes, but maybe first take a look at, like, Unchained, I think it is, for example, to see how applying everything to every enemy at every turn or whatever will go. And then, okay, anybody here? Okay, attack. And then, I know there's I think in general, mage characters are things I just have not pushed into as much that I'd like to see. I know mages can also be pretty broken, but just really focus in on the magic attack and see how that feels. Ooh, okay, interesting. We get both the Divine Gloom and Divine Warden in the same area. Wow, that makes me feel real special. Okay, I'm gonna say probably in place of Crown. I don't know if we're gonna need Mask. I guess we're saying, because I believe Crowns will be better because we get armor and then also we get some power. And overall, with 3 of them, yeah, we had talked about previously that 3 crowns is more power than 1 mask and 2 wardens. And I'm focusing warden more so than crown. Feels all right. Still watching, but won't be able to type a lot. Need to win Sudoku time. Oh, good. You know, not stressed about it. Let's see. If you hear me talk about something particularly interesting that you want to comment on, feel free to. But good luck on your game there. Crowns are better than masks, IMO. Yeah, at this point, I'm feeling that way. I think crowns and golden wardens are worth. So I'll do Golden Warden first, and then if we run out of Divine Golden Warden, we swap over to Crown. Because it still gives us power as well. I don't need the precision there. Pop this open, sell. Metal, good luck, bro. Yeah, nice. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, pop. Oh, yes, though. Some Gloom, some Divine Gloom. What a wonderful day. All right, attack. Okay, Giant's Ring. Now I'm good. Okay, Divine Gloom. Here we go. Okay. Pop, 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 pop. And they all crumble down. I'm also thinking, it's been honestly, it's been so crazy with, like this game I think is we talked previously a little bit about, like, this is getting a lot of views, a lot of attention, a lot of people interested in it, which is a very cool thing, and then the community is super active. It's kind of a rare thing. Like, I know it might feel like, okay, it's just a popular game, that's how it goes, whatever, but I wouldn't say, like, I would compare this maybe with Vampire Survivors or something in terms of, like, the bizarre amount of popularity of an indie game. Like, I played Stacklands, I played a lot of small indie games that even some of which turned out to be larger than they could have been. This game, I would say, is uniquely large. Let's see, attack there. Let's see, pop you guys down. Oh boy, oh, ow, yeah, ooh, ah. Okay, these guys are, yeah, at that point where they're very focused there. Give me a bunch of armor. Good. Is this going to be an area where I have to swap to Glimmer? I don't think so. Explain the logic of the sets. Yeah, sure. Oh, grab. Yeah, okay, swap there. That's fine. I don't want to dismantle these. I definitely want to hold on to them. Explain the logic. So the sets right now that I'm using, you've got Chrome Allure, which means every time I take damage, it's converted to poison, and only 50% of it gets converted. Poison damage. And that goes directly on your health. However, if you have Silver, that will cleanse that poison for the first 2 turns in a row, making you effectively invincible for 2 turns, as any other damage they do to you turns to poison, then gets cleansed for the first 2 turns. So that's an amazing general thing. There's a way to scale this up via Royal that you've probably heard of, potentially. Royal will, if you cleanse if you cleanse Royal, so Silver cleanses Royal, it applies debuff immunity for 10 turns. That will then mean for the first 10 turns, because you have Silver and Royal on. So Silver will cleanse the Royal effect of whatever, the Royal effect, which gives you debuff immunity. So then for the next 10 turns, no debuffs can harm you. Every damage you take is turned to poison. That counts as a debuff. That's then cleansed or removed by this debuff immunity for 10 turns. It's a crazy thing. That's normally what people will go for to get themselves really super high up. However, lasting for 10 turns in that way, it sort of comes at the sacrifice of being able to afford the leather set. So if you can't have leather, then so you'd at that point you'd have poison, you'd have silver, you'd have royal, and then generally to maximize everything, you're going to also want to have dazzle. So with all these together, not having leather means you only do, in this case, 3 attacks per turn, because that's my base attack amount, where leather is giving me a ton of extra attacks, because leather gives 1 extra total attack every 8 floors. So then, yeah, because you have such a low amount of attacks, you're doing, in those 10 turns, you're doing 3 attacks per turn. That's 30 attacks in 10 turns. Where if you didn't have Royal on and instead had Leather on, you'd be able to do, in 2 turns, now with plus 18 attacks, you're doing 36 attacks, right? That's kind of the concept. So Leather becomes just brokenly powerful. And then right now, because I don't necessarily absolutely need to have Glimmer on, so Dazzle on, I am using Demon to just hit everybody, but if I need to, I'll swap Dazzle on so that I can do crazy damage. Dazzle is kind of the final set that matters. Demon just hits everybody. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's nothing really that special in this case. It just speeds things up. But Dazzle set, what that does is that every time I apply Dazzle, which whenever you hit an enemy, it applies Dazzle, and then if you hit them again, the Dazzle pops and gives you the amount of Dazzle worth of armor and attack. Or sorry, worth of armor and damage to them that it'll do. And then, but then with the Jade set, the effect of that is that whenever that Dazzle pops, it's then reapplied. So then you hit them again, you're adding that Dazzle to it, popping it, and then reapplying it over and over again to reach crazy numbers. That's the premise behind the sets that I'm using. Okay. Let's see. I think but it's obviously from that explanation. I might not go through full explanation again after this point, just because that's obviously it's extensive. But it is it's cool. It's interesting, and the way that it works is quite fun. Probably not something you're gonna just fully understand just from hearing that. It probably just sounds like a whole lot of oh yeah, big number. That's good. But it works, and give it a try, and you'll understand over time more. Very clear. Hey. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the compliment to my clarity. All right. Okay. Now, what are people saying here? Can't hide is over. Okay, pop this on. Music. Oh, right. Let's see. Explain logic of the sets. I think because it's like Diablo or distillation of what makes Diablo fun. Let's see, William. There is metal. Good luck. Sell all this. Because this is like Diablo, or part of what makes Diablo fun. That's interesting. It's funny to me because I guess that answer is funny to me because I don't find Diablo to be the third Diablo, okay? I don't find the third Diablo to be as enjoyable because personal taste is what it is, but in general, I think when I'm playing a roguelike where I'm going around, slashing and whatever, I want meta progression or progression in general to feel as much as possible like I am playing a new thing, like I'm gaining new abilities, new attacks, new something, where Diablo's progression just feels like bigger number and nothing else. And so, the gameplay movement of it. Diablo 2 might be different, okay? And I'll acknowledge that. I haven't played Diablo 2. It might have a very different feel to it from 3. Excalibur, isn't it worth it in your build later? No, not anymore. So it is... Excalibur is important to gain a bunch of money and allow to do a ton of rerolls from floor 60 to about floor 75, maybe. You get a ton of money to be able to, do all this. But then the problem later on becomes that Excalibur takes up 1 slot, and... I could do it instead of the demonic set. The issue still remains that the refresh cost is going to be so much higher. It is at around floor even floor 75, but especially at floor 80 plus or 90 plus, refresh cost becomes so high that even divine Excalibur's increase to gold gain is just not relevant to refresh cost. It doesn't keep up as well as having leather set does. So that's why I keep it like this. Okay, let's see. But it's a good question. 6 billion armor, 32 trillion damage with Tesla rate. Crazy. Let's see. Sell. Excalibur is good for physical builds as an armor build. also true to that. Yeah, we're going armor-based damage. So armor-based damage because we use Dazzle as opposed to physical damage. But maybe more importantly, within this specific build, the point of Excalibur is just for the money gain, and that's unfortunately a temporary thing. It'd be great if I could keep getting money and keep refreshing so that I can get more gear more quickly or more often, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. And then we were saying, I did play Vampire Survivors fun the first time around. I think Vampire Survivors hold up really well for a long span of time. I only played a few. I mean, I played a few videos on it, you know, but it was a long time ago. I haven't played nearly as much of that as I played of this just in the last few days. So I would say that I prefer the way that this is structured to Vampire Survivors. But let's see, pop you guys down. But it's good, and I think if I had played it from the beginning like that, and I had really gotten deep into it, I think I probably would have still enjoyed Vampire Survivors. Maybe similarly, I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's see. But in terms of the success of the game as an indie game, it was pretty massive, right? Going into mainstream. It's been surprising to me, generally, with indie gaming, even the ones that are like really good, like Stacklands or Ooglians was one that I really enjoyed, or whatever. Even with these sorts of games, okay, pop. They don't tend to get mass attention. They tend to get a certain level of attention. Like, I think Stacklands they got Retromation, Wanderbot, Alexa, you know, like this sort. Like this one got as well. And I think it might have gotten, I don't know, Forzen or so, like someone who's like a micro big time. But then this one somehow got XQC. I don't know where that came. It's just like, to me, seems really strange. I didn't know that he had played the game until after I started playing. But like looking at that, I was just like, what's going, like, why? And not that, like, this game is very fun, but it's a rare thing for an indie game of this type. To be looked at by someone like that. Ever played 20? Oh yeah, I have. I played it when it was 10 minutes till dawn. So 20 minutes till dawn. I played it when it was still in its early access or demo form or whatever. I didn't play the full version, but I really enjoyed the early version. I think that one got a decent amount of attention. Found your content on YouTube, big fan. Hey, I appreciate it very much. Welcome, Masquerade. Let's see, pop you guys down. Yeah, very interesting one, and it's funny. I think. Yeah, because in the last one I said something like, I've been really surprised by the success of this and the amount of, like, within even just what I'm doing, within the, like, the amount of viewership and so on. I think there was a response something like, oh, well, playing big games, you know, tends to whatever. But it's not really just that. Like, I've played games that were... I played, of course, some really big games, like Lethal Company and things like that. I've played plenty of indie games and even ones that have popped off. It's not comparable. So, like, Stacklands 2.5 years ago was the biggest thing that I had done in terms of just, like, one game taking off. And me sort of gaining viewership and interest from it. That was... In one day, I got 200 plus watch hours. With this, yesterday, I got 1,300 watch hours. So, or 200 something, 1,200. So like 1,000 more than the 200 that I'd previously gotten. So there's clearly a large amount of interest in this. Of course, Stacklands were shorter videos, but and the viewership was crazy on that over time. But also in terms of one-day viewership, like subscribers, all that stuff is way higher with this. I don't know exactly why that is. It seems... Even taking into account, like, it's an interesting game, it's a big game, it's whatever, it's still pretty surprising. Let's see. And I would say, maybe because of XQC, but then it's also weird in this way, right? XQC plays it, all the big dogs play it, or whatever you want to say, in terms of my side of YouTube, what I would say is, which would be Alexa and Retromation and so on. Like, these people all play it, but then we don't see, at least so far, we don't see really anybody else who's like a super massive name. But even, of course, even just that is enough. But then I wonder as well. I wonder how much of that influx is happening because of XQC. Really specifically, because it feels like that's a rare thing. Like, how much of it is from that versus something else? So, like, my understanding is, and maybe it's also like, yeah, you're saying some big streamers played it a bit, but didn't follow up when searching for someone else. That makes sense. Here for your community. Oh, well, thanks very much. Yeah, I've just been trying in my head to kind of like say, okay, exactly why. Because I've talked to some different devs over time. I'm not that I'm like super, one-on-one with devs too often, but I have talked to different devs at different points in time and watched a lot of stories happen. So the success of the game in terms of devs is fascinating. Let's see. Came here because of XG. That makes sense. Allowed to mention other YouTubers. Oh, yeah, sure. Not a big deal. Because the publisher Hand of Blood, who's a big player in the Germany community. Gotcha. Okay. Hand of Blood is a big player in the German community with a huge community. Spoken to the dev of Megaloot. I don't believe so with that one. Mostly I talk to devs from like smaller indie games, particularly because I I tend to play, well, I guess smaller. It's a funny thing because to me, when I first started playing this, my understanding was this is, okay, a little, like a small indie game. Got recommended on Discord, whatever, by a fan. And it seems like something up my alley, but also seems like something I could spend a ton of hours on. Like, it seems like something I could just kind of consistently have as like kind of a background thing. It's not crazy complicated. It's like it fits in this exact mold that I've been looking for, because I really liked Throne of Bone. For that fitting the same mold. I believe it moves like a lot of people. Let's see, move this one in. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, a lot of much of the YouTubers, also because the publisher hand of community, spoken to them. Let's see. But like, for example, so Throne of Bone, it's I've thought about going back and doing Throne of Bone streams at some point. I should actually do these ones next. Because it's kind of similar. Obviously right now I'm focused on this one, but then there's like a sweet spot. I think there is a sweet spot of when you want to focus. Dangerously Funny has Dangerously Funny played this? It feels like also that would make sense. You're giving me features I buy. That's how I found this one. Oh, he did feature. Okay, gotcha. Now that makes sense to me, because I think within my perception of things, where you've got these sort of characters, it feels like, okay, pop you guys. We got perfect slave trio or whatever you want to call it. It feels like there's this next stage up from Retromation Wander, Alexa. Orbital Potato, I guess, is also in that. He's like he's not massive, but he's a part of it, and some of these others. It feels like then there's this next stage up where you've got Gray Still Plays, Dangerously Funny, and so on, right? You got this. I don't know if I can think of who else, but like off the top of my head. But there's like a few people in there that I would consider. They're like almost like a different. A different scale, but still the similar set of games. But none of them make the same type of content. Real Civil Engineer is definitely in there. They all make content that like around the type of games that I tend to make and that people within this sort of area make. But then they're like way bigger, and they've got a very highly edited content generally. And I've thought about that as well. Like what stops someone? Well, I don't know, like Alexa or like Wander or so on. What stops these sorts of people from hiring an editor of that scale and just putting out that type of content? Because like it's a very different feel, so maybe that's part of it, and maybe take more work or a different type of work, or not play to their audience as well, or I don't know. Let's see, I'll respond to that one in a second on XUC. But yeah, it's sort of, I think it's an interesting question, maybe, like why do they not go for that? Because I've seen, I think it was Wander would always make maybe 2 different gaming vids a day, and then Retro would make like 6 for a long time. I think that I don't know right now, but for a while there, he pushed it back down to like 2 or 3, which is really nice, because I remember watching and being like, oh my god, like every day he's putting out 6 videos, and by the last 2 or 3 or whatever that he puts out, you can tell that he's just like lost his mind, okay? It's crazy. But anyway, so that's always been kind of an interesting question to me. But okay, seen XQC's builds, thoughts on it? I haven't. I was looking to see if I could find XQC on, like, playing or focused on, like, the later floors, but at least the first 4 videos he did on it are all within the lower floors, or like they're only like 3 or 4 hours long. But I think that's probably a big part of the success in terms of if XQC had any massive impact on it, it would definitely be because he's playing for hours. Like, it's not just a look in. Dangerously Funnies need to be look in because that's his type of content. XQC it doesn't make that type of content, and so it being like these long looks in is probably a big impact. It's a very different feel, but I love watching Retro's long videos. I like Retro as well. I started on Wander years ago, before I started doing YouTube. I would watch Wander's content, and then I watched Retro closer to when I started YouTube. And I think, yeah, the style is pretty different even across those two in some ways, but not as different as Dangerously Funny. What about your build? Could you explain it? I'll do like quick explanations, and then I'll maybe post it in my Discord or something. How do you gain so much armor? So it's from Dazzle. Right now I have, let's see, Dazzle. I have 36k Dazzle stacks that I apply every time I attack. These Dazzle stacks, then every time you hit an enemy with Dazzle on them, so I apply it on the first hit, then I hit them again and kill them, that Dazzle pops, or kill them or at least do damage to them. That Dazzle pops and applies that much in armor to me and in damage to them. So if I keep hitting them over and over again, because I have 18 attacks now, it just keeps scaling up the amount of damage. Not even taking advantage of or looking at the Divine Glimmer here, which will give me a ton of, which will allow the stacks to like scale up higher. But Okay, let's do Cosmic in, dismantle this one. Good stuff. Let's see, what are we saying? It's very different feel. I love watching versus long plays. How do you gain so much armor? All right, and then outside of that, most of the point of this build in general is that I take poison damage instead of regular damage, and then I cleanse it with silver. And I'm using leather to get enhanced amount of attacks, and then right now I'm using demon, but just for multi-attack it speeds things up. Really, I could use Jade here, and it'd be fine as well. Jade allows for way more scaling of damage and armor. Okay. I'll even show that. I feel like every once in a while showing that off is fun. Let's see. I'll sell these things off, and I'll pop you on for fun here. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? 200 billion, 400 billion, 600 billion, 700 billion. Okay, so about 800 billion damage with Jade Necklace on. It's crazy that you're going to get that much damage without, but for now I'm not going to focus that direction. We're just going to keep focusing on armor or dazzle. Okay. Perk Slave at 200 can almost tank 1 trill damage times 28. What? At the 1 trillion damage is your base damage, or 1 trillion damage is what it gets up to at the highest point? Sell. Because my base damage right now is only 29 million. I feel like yours isn't... No, yours can't be, because you're not... Your base armor wouldn't be that high, so you must be talking about the trillion at the end. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. 1 trillion plus however much damage from the prior attacks. That's a lot. That is a lot. Tank... Wait. So once the armor comes down and you attack again, it can almost tank it? That's crazy. Any weakness to it? Let's see. Attack. Or no, I guess we're saying, but then we're stopping at the armor. So maybe it is a trillion. It is a trillion times 28. No, you're right, because that would be, once you get through the armor, that's you would have fully stacked up damage. So it would be a trillion times 28. And you're saying it can almost stop that? That's crazy. Any weakness to it? Inevitably, they could just have so much damage that they punch through all of this after, like, yeah, once I have all this armor, they could punch through it. That would be a problem. Slave's armor, I guess. Well, I'm guessing it must not... or wait, Slave's armor? What's Slave's armor? Is that different from the barrier? Weakness is armor break. Armor break. Yeah. Only if I can't kill them in time. It so far doesn't seem super likely, but it could happen. It will be, but then if I swap to this, then we'll just go 100% into the armor break character. And so if we can't kill them, that's a problem. 1.7p health. Interesting. Gotcha. 1.7p health. Gotcha. Okay, sell. Well, when we get there, we'll get there. 0.7p. How much do these guys have? Show your stats. Sure. So Dazzle right now we're up to 37,000. So armor, it's kind of tough to say. Like, you can see armor scales up like crazy. Physical attack doesn't matter, which is why it's so low. Gold gain doesn't matter, which is why it's so low. Let's see. We'll probably say that to a lot of things. Attack. Dazzle is really important. Max health, no. Power is 5k. Faith is 3.3k. Critical damage doesn't matter. Armored attacks is 1.8k. Percent increase, whatever. Sell. Open. Sell. Attack. Precision is 1,000%. We'll probably raise this up a little higher later on. If you lag behind on precision, it's a spooky stat. Yeah, because you fall behind on it, there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe I should put some precision in. Yeah, you know, we'll put our troop shirts of precision in, and then we'll only hold on to one, and then when we think we're going to be uncomfortable, maybe we'll throw that on. That would be pretty... Precision is a dangerous one. How much dodge are they going to get? Because I have a lot of attacks, but if they dodge, do I not apply Sparkle to them? Interesting. That would be a problem. Okay. Toughness. We have toughness a little bit, 660%. We don't have a ton of toughness. I don't know if I should be concerned. 1.5k precision, I have no issue at 200. Okay, so... I don't think it's... Yeah, I think we're just going to do Warden here. Dismantle. Lag behind precision, but precision, yeah, it could be a difficulty. I could just get up to 1.5k and be fine, and 1.2k toughness. Yeah, it is a risk. Like, I don't know if they will ever get a dangerous amount of penetration or not, so it's hard to say. Okay, let's see. What are you working towards now since you're pretty much maxed? Just continuing... Well, right now we're focused on Dazzle and on Armor increase. And then if we have to, we'll swap to use... We'll put in some Power, some Armored Attack, and so on. But for now, those two are the big ones. Don't need any of this. Yeah. Honestly, probably worth it to swap out for Silver Blade. Kill you. Let's see. See who ends up the stream at 150 or 200. We'll see. Okay. Pop. And pop. But we can always swap over to Dazzle if we need to, so I don't expect to have too many problems. Alright. Okay, alright. Oh my goodness. Just curious what a refresh might cost now. Right now we're up to 88. Wow, in such a short span of time, up to 88 billion, so it definitely does scale faster than I was expecting. I figured by like... Okay, well, I guess it makes sense though, huh? Alright, attack and attack. Hopefully not a death, true. Yeah. Hopefully not at death, yeah. I mean, ideally we're able to get up to a lot of floors without dying, and we just carry on, I don't know, but... okay. Alright. These guys are kind of annoying. They're not really a problem, they just keep me from scaling as much, which is kind of a bother, but it's okay. Like, we still take them out, but... not be able to convert to save your life at some point. At some point, yeah, true. But, there will be a point where I swap to this, and then the point would be where I can't convert. So I don't know. We'll see if it becomes a problem. Because the thing is, like, if I do swap to the Glimmer Ring, it's still only like we're still gonna get just to this guy with enough hits, so it'll be okay. Continuation of the other video you uploaded. Yeah, you could think of it like that. It is taking the same build that we got to and then carrying it forward, but it's 100, yeah, 100 over 100 floors, beyond 100 floors, so everything above. Let's see, don't need any of this. Well, maybe I do want the crown. Yeah, I'll take the crowns and yep, yeah, that'll work. All right, replace Turtle and Marauder. Yeah. Okay, attack. Okay. My armor attack is 6.2k. Gotcha. I'll have to take a look. I'm really not sure what that's at for me. Armor attack, yeah, I'm only at 1.8. But, you know, we'll get there. I'm focused on Dazzle first, because that's what's really going to be harder to... Dazzle and Armor increase, which is going to be harder to get. I don't know if I'll focus on Crown right after that, or if I should just swap over to Armored Attack, maybe. Turtle and Marauder Helm, let's see, you're good. Appreciate it. Let's see, attack. Like, which one first? Let's see, don't need those things. Armor and Turtle. Armor and Turtle. Yeah, I think, well, yeah, I think, yeah, even at this point, it's... Oh, wait, no, we still have this. We have Dazzle. We have Divine Dazzle. There's a chance that we do Eternal Dazzle before we do anything else, even. Like, I don't want to have to combine... I would rather not have to combine... Like, I shouldn't combine these for any reason. Because the odds of getting red or above are really low. So, I think Dazzle trumps everything else. Dazzle before everything else. And never combine them unless they're like commons or something, you know, but that probably won't happen. Okay. And pop. Feels like Demon's going fine for now. Okay, new Dazzle. You love to see that. Alright, swap. Sell. Yeah, so far we're getting new Wardens and Dazzles fast enough that we don't have to swap them out for... Like, we don't have to dismantle anything else, which is nice. What do you have? Okay, it just says floor record, doesn't it? I thought death messages would say, like, whatever they said, unless maybe people aren't saying anything. Odds of seeing below Divine are really low now. Yeah, true. True, which is nice. I very much appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Okay. Yeah, I think Warden... I would say Crown is probably better than Abyssal Warden. Even though it's... Yeah, because just the power isn't terrible. It's not a crazy amount of power, but... It just means I don't have to think about power. We probably really don't ever need masks again. Let's see. Silver armor and royal, like you did yesterday, needed for the early floors. Let's see. Wouldn't the full leather work too, since it's doing 36 in 2 turns anyway? No, because leather increases over time, so it's only doing 36 now. It wouldn't do it normally. So leather is +1 every 8 floors. So we would say by floor 60. Geez, that's only 5, 6, 7, maybe like 8 or so, 7 or 8. Yeah, so it's really not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. By comparison. Okay. Yeah, it'd be 7, and then at and then at 60. 64, it would be 8, right? Okay, pop. What do we got? Do we need faith here? Do we have anything that I can trade in that I don't want? I don't think I need the faith. No, we got plenty of faith nexus. What? Okay, okay. Wait, please? What are you saying? What are you saying? Faith? No, you're probably not, right? I mean, I have enough crowns that I don't... I'll just take the faith, just in case. Okay. Take a second, maybe, to sort inventory. Oh, sort of. Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you're good. We'll do these guys, and then I'll put you here, and then put you here, and then we can do like this. That's kind of pretty. It's not bad. Oh, and we got another one. Wow, it looked so cool before. Okay, fine. I'm gonna say instead of the faith, it's probably fine. And then we can do like this, and then we can do like this. That's a little better. It's not bad. All right. Maybe turtle over faith. Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right. Okay. Only trade faith or mask if you find more dazzle necklace. Yeah. Oh, dazzle necklaces. Oh, dazzle, you wonderful thing. All right. I think I don't need this turtle. Wait. Hold on. Faith. What's stronger right now? Because they're 3.3k, and armored attack is only we need this over faith still. So we'll go like that. Mask for turtle. Oh, mask. Oh yeah, mask is worse than faith though. Yeah, true. Okay. So, because it's all about at that point faith and mask are equivalents. Let me go this one. Okay, and then we would go. Then faith is worse than this. And we'll go like that. Okay, it's gonna have to do like this. So, do the 2 precisions. 2 precisions. You're right. I don't really. I mean, I don't need them. Okay, so more silver will give me faith for free, where this Throngler is only giving me health. And I don't think I'm gonna need that, so we can swap it. We'll just go with a free faith. And then does it give me anything else? Yeah, more faith. Yeah, sure. Yep. All right. And then we do this one. Dismantle. Okay. Nice. Hey mate, I really enjoy your streams. You stream pretty cool. I love it. I'd love to be part of your fan community. Could you add me on Discord? I have Discord and link in the description if you wanna pop in. There, you're fine. Okay, attack. All right. Appreciate the compliments, I suppose. All right, sell. Okay, attack. Yeah, I don't know if I need the 2 precisions. I mean, I might hold on to him. Is this better? This is better. The cosmic, yeah. Okay, sell. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of what it is, but it's okay. Mesh 2. Anyway, let's see. Attack. 27.6. Yeah, we're just not. Yeah, I do wonder if Excalibur would even be enough at this point to keep up with... No, it wouldn't. I don't think it would. Expand the build quick. Gosh. Maybe I should... I need to have, like, a dense... like bulk amount of text just scrolling down the screen that constantly, or like over the top. Imagine if I had like over the top of the screen that's just constantly recycling. Anyway, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of a complicated situation, but the core of it is just that when I take damage, it turns into poison damage, and then silver cleanses that. So that means for the first 2 turns, I'm invulnerable. Leather gives me extra attacks, 1 extra attack every 8 floors, which gets us up to 18 attacks, and then Dazzle, which I have stacks of. I will put it on if I need to. Dazzle allows me to turn that extra amount of attacks into armor and damage. Sell all this, and beyond. But I'm using Demon right now because it hits all the enemies, so it makes it a little faster. That's really the only reason for that. Put it on stream description, maybe. Yeah, true. You know what? You're so right. That would make sense. That would make sense. Okay, attack. For some reason, wonders if it'd be worth it to wear Jade Necklace and Sword to get the 3x Dazzle gain over the extra faith. 765. It might be... Because I can always just have this on. Probably would be. You make an interesting point. Alright. I'll wait for... I'll wait for Pain. Pain, what do you think about that? I'm curious. Since you said, ask me Quebbins. Let's see. Pop. Oh, pop. Sadly, can't use Dazzle Sword with Demonic. Oh, yeah, true. That's the answer. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Limited sets, and Demonic does speed things up. Alright. Never mind, I guess, to that. The 24% times faith instead of necklace, hold onto it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll hold on the necklace in general, yeah. That's also interesting, yeah. Their sort of suggestion is just, would it be better to get the more dazzle through the combination? If I didn't have demon on and instead had the ring on, would it be better for me to use the silver ring and then have the gloom necklace and gloom sword? Or dazzle sword, whatever. Maybe, but the amount of swaps over that would require would be way too much. But it is, yeah, it might be, like, if that wasn't something to be concerned with, that might be true. Okay, pop. Oh, this creature. How much damage do you do to me to cut through my armor? Yeah, we're I think because of dazzle necklaces and focusing on armor gain, we're now finally outscaling them again. Or we're scaling up faster than they're scaling up, which is nice. It'll stop eventually, but, well, you know, eventually. Alright, dismantle. In terms of their damage versus my armor. Only ring dazzle set doesn't get multiplied by the set pieces. Faith is very important. Only ring dazzle set doesn't get multiplied by the set pieces. Faith is very important. No, ring dazzle set does. It does. It's just not a ton, I guess. But it multiplies, more importantly, it multiplies the necklace. But it also multiplies the ring. And the ring is such a low amount, this is not as important as the necklace increase. But it still would increase it by 3x, right? Which would give me an extra 775 dazzle with a ring, but then the necklace, more importantly, would give me an extra like 1400 or whatever it is. But yeah, it's not super important because there's no world where you build it that way. You'd always prefer, well, maybe you would in the long term though, actually in the late game. The ring is just for the set. No one to equip sword. Better to have silver sword for the silver neck. Well, their suggestion is to just keep the silver ring on and have the jade ring on with the jade necklace and the jade sword, because all of that would increase, I believe, jade by enough that it's worth it over the faith. I think that's probably true, but again, irrelevant. Ring is just for the set. No one equips sword. Better to have silver sword. No one equips sword. Let's see. Okay, but only in the case where we say no more demonic. And we're not there. we hopefully won't get there for a long time, if ever. Silver would do more. It might. I'm not sure. Well, it would do more damage, probably. With the extra attacks, would it do more damage? Jade is really important. It depends on how much jade you have versus silver, actually, right? Like that's the only question is like, how much faith have you gotten versus how much jade have you gotten? Nothing else really matters to that. In terms of damage, but in terms of health or armor, of course, jade would be better. It's just a question of whether that's what you would care about more at that stage of the game. Okay, blue silver sword. Depends on what flavor. True, yeah. Alright, armored is better than faith, but we already have enough that I don't think I want it. Oh, I could have taken over this, though. I should take over this. Well, whatever, it's okay. Alright, okay. Pop. Maybe I'll turn in my precision, because we're doing fine right now. Sell. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm never going to need this, though. The Cosmic Faith Necklace, no thanks. Well, I guess I guess this is just a slot that I don't need in general. So hopefully we find something to throw into here. Especially a Jade Necklace would be nice. Alright, pop. Okay, okay. Alright. Precision. So we're saying it was 1500, so 1500 precision required in order to survive at 200. Let's see. I'll put one in after this one, and then we'll swap. That'll give me one more space of room anyway. It's all about Jade now. Okay, sell. I should get a look in. I don't know what other characters there really are. At this point in time, like the next characters that I want to do, definitely I want to focus on the one that applies damage to everybody or applies effects to everybody would be really good for an elemental build, which is probably the most interesting one. Only build ephemeral armor for 4 rounds. Oh, that's interesting. I thought I could only build it for 2 to 3 rounds because of my silver mixed with Chromallure. Okay, sell. That's interesting. So, pop. But, yeah, so I think probably the first one would be that one. We already did Blackthorn. There's the leather character. I don't know if I would use the leather character. I kind of doubt. Like, I don't know. It's just, it feels like I do leather so much. Leather could be interesting, though, but then what do you build it around, right? Like, I'm so used to, like, I want to build each character around their set, but I feel like with that one, you kind of can't as much. Get rid of this for precision, because we didn't get a Jade, and we could trade in the Cosmic, maybe in the next one. 4 rounds to learn gain through armor. That's interesting, 4 rounds. Okay, pop this guy down. Let me see what the other characters are. So, let's see. So, Vampire, Warrior, Scout. These are the ones I've already played, but I will eventually play Scout again for sure. There's... You are... Your Legacy. I don't know this one. Blackthorn is this one, so I'm not sure. I think you're Unchained, right? Which is the one that allows me to hit every character. Yeah, this one with effects. This is probably the next one. I've already played these ones, so it's just these middle sets that I haven't... No, this middle set that I haven't done. What's this lady do? 4th is Sid. Yeah, leather. Right. I'm curious what the... Yeah, what does the pink purple-haired one do? No, wait. Or whichever. Sid is the... Is it the 4th? No, Sid is this one. This one over here. Yeah, second to last, third to last, whatever I'm called. This one. But this one is Jace, right? And that's Legacy. Okay, pop over here. Mana Shield. Mana Shield. What? Oh, is that full block per amount of mana you have, maybe? Can you show again third from back last? This one. I'll close my other one, because I don't need that. This one's Sid, right? Pink hair is magic damage that gains shield based on magic attack. Gains shield based on magic attack. That seems interesting. What about the Scar one? What about the black-haired Scar one? Raven hair. Sell. Pop. Magic damage. Oh, armor based on magic damage. I mean, you can scale that up high. Maybe an option for... Can you get to Perfect Slave with enough armor? You just need so much armor to make it happen. But you could focus 100% in on that, basically. Interesting. Cool content. Enjoyed it. Keep it up. Hey, appreciate it very much. Glad you're enjoying. Let's see. Pop through. Sell. Let's see. Magic based on... Wait, magic damage that gains shield based on magic damage. But isn't there also one... There's a thing you can do of, like, 3 turns of shield, I think. Full shield. There's Turtle, which is nice, but wouldn't resolve... Let's see, wait. Oh, this one? Good. Turtle would get you through... Oh, wait. Oh, Turtle can have more than 2 stacks, though, if you get multiple sets of armor. Black Scar is Darkness. Oh, Darkness, yeah. What does Darkness do again? I gotta see some Darkness for myself someday. Let's see, pop these out. And you. Okay. Zephron's Hat. Spellbind every turn. Increase... Let's see, Spellbind. Apply Silence on target. Yeah. Spellbind? Spellbind for the priest? Does that work? But it's on target as well, right? So it's whoever I hit. Is that the case? Oh, every turn. Spellbind. Does it hit all enemies or just one? That'd be important. Freeze attack and then... Oh, is this Darkness? Or Shadow? This is Shadow. Every time you dodge, cast... attack the caster. Interesting. So, regains mana and mind control. You have Demon Helm in inventory. Ooh. Oh, no, not Demon. That's not... Oh, it pops in because I used something and then it replaces, that's all. Attack, unless there was something I wanted. No, I didn't. I replaced the demon ring with this, so that should be fine. Regains mana and uses mind control. Mind control. Oh yeah, they use their enemy's ability, so you could use that maybe to get around Perfect Slave. Yeah, there's probably some room. There's probably some room with some of these characters to make it through. Because, yeah, right now it does feel like Dazzle is what it's all about, but... Okay, pop. Pop. Gosh. Pop. Thank you. Anybody in here? Nope. So, Mind Control is used by spending mana. Confuses all enemies. Oh, confuses. Yeah, right. Wasn't there one that also... Wasn't there a different one that steals their moves or uses their moves? Pretty sure there was a thing like that. So... also steal. Oh, steals mana. Confuse all enemies and you don't... Oh, and they can't hit you at that point. Yeah. Glass cannon. Classic glass cannon build. Gotcha. And then steals mana, but only if enemies have the mana to be stolen. But then you could go... But then what if there's no enemies with mana? I guess you just need to have enough damage output? That's interesting. Okay. Let's throw... Oh, this one in, that's fine. Unchained set character mimics the... Oh, mimics... Oh, that's that one. What's the one that applies to all enemies? Does it do that too? Or is it a different character I'm thinking of? Only mind control if he has mana to use it. Right. So it would have to have... But then he steals mana. But can he steal mana to... Can he steal mana to... From enemies that don't have mana? I guess they all seem to... Oh, maybe they all have mana. I guess. Mimic. Okay, pop these guys down. Just like a couple of first turns. Is that it? Yeah, did you say steals mana? Who gains mana? Yeah, Mimic. Yeah, isn't there... Which one's that one? I thought it was this one that could mimic enemies' abilities with Unchained, but maybe it's a different one. Or I don't know, Okay, let's see. Berserker. Every time your health is damaged, gain a stack of Fury, which probably increases my damage. You could do this with a health build, but that doesn't really work for... That doesn't really work. Okay, attack. Pop, 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 pop. Mindful of mana, it's a couple first turns. He can keep mind controlling if he can keep stealing, but that will become more unlikely as enemies at most have 3, but mostly 0. Oh, how much does it cost? How much does it cost to mind control? So, is it if it's only 1 mana and he has 3 mana at base? Couldn't use steal each turn, but then they'll run out of mana. But then if you kill one, you can go to the next one and steal their mana. Oh, these ones only have 1 mana. So you only steal for 1 turn. Well, you could confuse them and then steal, and now you're full again. Does he have 2 mana or 1? Gray-haired is Unchained 1. Does not work as Perfect Slave. Use Glove on the last run as a test. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll have to see. I have to see for myself. Because I'm thinking, like, maybe you can get past them with like a little bit of Glimmer. I guess you can always just use a little bit of Glimmer and be okay. Or Dazzle, I should say. So these ones. Nope. All right. Keep moving if you can. Let's see. Okay, attack you. All right. We're getting a decent amount of armor from this because we keep using, because we keep using armor increases and bloom. So that's good. Sell these ones. Okay. Cost 2. Okay, cost 2 and he starts with 3. Okay, so then uses 2, steals 1 back, second turn uses 2, and only steals 1. So third turn you need to kill everybody with. Ugh. But then you could steal the second one during that turn and do 1 more mind control on Perfect Slave, but you wouldn't be able to do after that. Yeah, there's no way around if you have 2 sets of Perfect Slaves. Gotcha, that's interesting. Okay. Ooh. Divine Excalibur. How much do you give me if I sell you? 13 billion? Oh boy. Alright, sell. Has good magic mana, so electric build is really good. Gotcha. Okay, good magic mana, so electric build is really good. Okay, electric. Electric. Apply stacks of electric charge to total electricity to the target. Adjacent enemies will receive 25% of stacks. But then how do you... I wonder how you solve Perfect Slave there. Magic damage, I mean, sorry, you're good, you're good. Damage, yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay, what about Malice? Apply on hit status effects even if your attacks don't hit. Apply on hit status effects. Does this count with this? Status effects. No, it can't take damage no matter what, right? No. Magic damage means, sorry, shop definitely has... Wait. So, I mean, I already get Dazzle on hit anyway, so it doesn't... But what about... Does it go through it? Probably doesn't go through it, right? That probably is not the case. That would be crazy if it did. Because that opens up a whole different path. But I doubt it, I doubt it, I doubt it. Okay, we'll go with the Cosmic one. That's fine. Dismantle. Okay. Pop. Curious. Okay, attack. I wouldn't test it now. Yeah, right. Yeah, true. True. Yeah, well, I mean, I could take off Demon and test it. Right? Couldn't I? So we'll start by hitting you to scale up. Any health gone? No. Okay. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so that doesn't help there. Would be interesting, huh? Would be kind of interesting. Alright, attack. Okay. Oh well. Cursed. Oh. Malice. Satisfaction of your attack, cast Evil Mark. So Evil Mark goes on, Curse on target, all healing. I was thinking more of the, because it says apply on hits, status effects even if your attacks don't hit. My wonder was like, would it make the damage go through somehow? Check the lock next to 3 armor. Okay, but check the lock next to ephemeral armor. Okay. Receive ephemeral armor. That's only that's on the 3rd turn, right? You can no longer increase. So it wouldn't be on the 4th, would it? Or no, at the end of the 3rd turn, so then on the 4th you wouldn't be able to add armor. You would be able to. So, okay, I see what you're saying. After 4 rounds. So, on 4 rounds, kind of. But yeah, still. Same difference. All right, gotcha. Throw this back on and put you back up here and sell these. End of 4th, not start of 4th. Oh, really? Right, because they can't hit... Well, no, they hit you at the end of the 3rd, don't they? Let me think. Yeah, they hit you at the end of the 3rd, so it would be the start of the 4th. Or at the end of the 3rd, everyone look at it. Because after you hit them... it clears you the first 2 turns. Then on the 3rd turn, you hit them a bunch, then they counter-hit you, and you don't clear it. Meaning that it would exist as a lock at the end of the 3rd turn. Because they hit your armor, it counts as damage, it puts on the lock, and it isn't cleared at the end of the 3rd. So then, start of the 4th, not the end of the 4th, right? What am I missing there? Sell. Okay, 1 turn. One turn, then they put the lock on me, then I clear it. 2 turn. They put the lock on me, I clear it. 3 turn. They put the lock on me, it stays. 4 turn. Right? Okay, I think I've got it. I hope so. Okay, attack. Alright, now, do I need to go with Dazzle on? The Unchained guy will be really good with Confuse and Ice damage. Confuse and Ice damage. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll theorize some builds. It'll be exciting. I've got a couple days where I'm gonna try not to be super heavy on computer for a couple days, maybe. Tuesday and Wednesday I take off, and then Tuesday I sometimes take off, sometimes don't. But tomorrow I'm gonna have to, so it's going to be a couple days. And during that time, I'm gonna prep a few different ideas of what I want to do on Thursday. Probably, we continue. We continue at that point. Let's see. Don't become terminally online. True. Let's see. Any of these sell? Pop. I mean, I've been a YouTuber or working on YouTube anyway for 3.5 years, so I think it's a little bit late, maybe. But your cries fall on deaf ears, perhaps. All right, pop. 5 and 3 damage million. I'll hit you first, and I'll hit them. Or your warnings. Let's see. Unchained guy. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'll get some ideas together for the Thursday stream, and then, but then outside of that, try to take it easy on screens, because it's honestly really just because back when I was working, maybe sad detail, it doesn't really matter. It's your job. It's your job. Well, I mean, I'm an accountant. I've got a separate job, but I mean, of course, YouTube would be great, someday. But no, I've got working on as in like. As a project, or whatever you want to call it, right? Let's see, pop these down, and then you, and then pop. Let's see what I was saying. But yeah, back when I used to, before I do streaming now, of course, as you can tell, as I'm sure you've gathered by now. Let's see what I want to do here. I'll throw in precision, feels okay. But I used to do daily uploads of like edited down content, and during that time, what I would do is I would record for like an hour and 15 on average or so, and then, let's see, an hour and 15 of recording, and then I would edit that down over the course of about like 2 hours, so I really wanted to try to like improve my editing and also expand what I can do and so on. Sell, and then And then for like an hour as well, I would always want to spend an hour on a thumbnail because I want to make the thumbnails get better as quickly as possible and be good enough, right? So all these three things together. And so per daily upload, that's, let's see, an hour and 15 and the hour, so 2 hours and 15, and then the 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, really. But yeah, that's like 4-something hours per daily upload, and then you'd always have to do one extra part. So I think this is three different parts. So you've got recording, editing, and thumbnail making. Each is their own part. You'd have to do one extra part per day at least. So 3 parts plus 1, so 4 parts. So on average per day, I was spending probably like 6 or so hours on working on YouTube for daily uploads for I don't know, a long while. And because like 3.5 years, during that span of time, that was probably like an 8-month stretch of that. And then outside of that, of course, like maybe a little less intense at points, and then little bits of breaks here and there. But it was, yeah, that was the thing. And at the peak of doing that, I burst a blood vessel in my eye, and so I couldn't like look at screens for like a week, and it was terrible because I was like, I need to. I was still, and I still was. I was still recording, I was still editing, and I was still making thumbnails. But whenever I wasn't doing that, I would put on like a mask, unless I was driving, which was terrible for a minute there, really terrible for a minute there. So like because of that, I'm kind of wary of overdoing it, because I don't want. I mean, blood vessel. It's not like it sounds extreme, but generally they'll heal in a couple weeks and then you're fine. But you gotta be careful, right? You don't want to cause yourself problems. Inventory spiny dragon lizard attack. True. Sell these guys. But it was wild. Wild span of time. So I'm kind of careful with going overboard. And with these, I know I'm pushing it because like 8 hours straight is a little bit, Anyway, last person I spoke to in real life was 1 year ago when it's Dr. Annual checkup. Fine, totally online, fair enough. Editing job itself, yeah, editing can definitely be editing can be ones that shoot blood. No, not they don't. Yeah, and it's not quite like that, but it is. Yeah, it sucks though, right? Because your light is painful because your eyes are more sensitive, and like painful or it feels really weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's an odd feeling for sure. So yeah, don't do that, I guess. warning against that. Not that you probably plan on it. Any of these will sell all. It's a little bit of, I think it's partly, like, I wonder about it, because I know, like, again, like, someone like XQC we talked about earlier, or like some of these big streamers do for, like, 16 hours a day. At the time, I definitely wasn't doing that. But I think, I wonder because, like, I'm like, fully blind in one eye. And so I don't know if it's more, I think it's probably more strain on the one eye. So it could be a little bit cautious. Even though, like, generally, at the time, though, really, I was overdoing it. I remember the most I would do in one day was 6 parts, which is, it's hard to say, but I remember, like, on days where it's, like, mostly editing would have been, like, somewhere, like, 8 to 10 hours of editing. And then I work as an accountant on a computer, and then, and I also like to watch YouTube as my main pastime. So it's like, it's a terrible string. So you gotta be, yeah, there's a point at which you have to be a little careful, with things like that. We want to go with, Crown or Divine. I feel okay about going Gloom, though. I'm not going to combine them at any point anyway, so it's fine. Let's see, what are we saying? Editing's a shot myself, yeah. Personally, I ain't too fond of it, but I prefer it forward filming it myself. I kind of agree, yeah, actually. I think editing is a lot better than, like, if you have to script out a video and then drink water, that's a good point. Where did I even, yeah, I've got water here. Let's see, attack. Okay. Graphic designer, I ain't too fond of it myself. Yeah, I feel like, okay, sell these, yeah. I think editing is the most intensive in terms of time consuming, and can be infinitely time consuming. Doing walks embrace the gamer life, true. I mean, not genuinely though. I mean, I think walks are nice, right? Like, it's relaxing. Anyway, but what are we saying here? Once you shoot my eyes, keep the blood pressure down. Things take it easy. Go to sleep at 2 a.m. Wake up at 7 a.m. in between to play games. Eat whatever. Yeah. Be careful. The eating thing is especially. You gotta be really careful about that one. It is odd, actually. Well, we're jumping down rabbit holes a little bit here, but I feel like with eating, there's most people probably just like eat because they get hungry, but then there's some people who don't, and I don't like. What's up with that, right? What's up with that? Sell. Anyway, I mean, I think exercise and drinking water and like regular like taking care of yourself helps with things like that, but it is bizarre. Okay, 2 a.m. wake at 7. Go for a jog, just have a walk. That helps. True. Yeah, these are good pieces of advice. Anyway, yeah, I feel like yeah, editing is tough. Streaming is a whole different ball game. I've really enjoyed streaming. I started streaming about what month is it now? Almost a year ago now. Name check. Hey, well there you have it. Almost a year ago now, I started streaming, and that was a whole different thing. It's like because with editing, it's like you're just for these crazy long stretches. You're just playing video, split, cut, split, or split, delete, right? They're just like over and over and over and over and over to get this whole massive thing out. And by comparison with streaming, it's like to get a video out and then who watches it, right? You know, it's terrible. It's kind of crazy. I think streaming, and it's funny as well, because when I started streaming, everybody was telling me with YouTube, everybody is like, no, you can't just let the VOD exist. You have to like take it, edit in an intro, and then put it up, right? But I've been making intros, and I have been, you know, working on that end of things for a long time. It's just, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not important compared to, like, getting, like, something out there that's interesting and so on. There's not, like, some great advantage to doing that unless you're going to do, like, if you do highly edited content, sure. But it was surprising to me because at the time I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe just uploading streams, whatever, like the VODs, maybe that's not going to work. And then they're also in their own separate little slot. Over time, it's like, thank goodness. Like, if I spend a ton of time on a big project and try to put out something, like I did like these Dragon Quest videos a while back, or more recently, I did like Thought Experiment Simulator. I edited for a ton of hours on this already short stream, but it takes a long time to try to make something really cool that I put out there. Like, that got good views, and it's in its own separate slot. So if you click on my channel, you see these videos that I've spent all this time on, but then you can click on live and see everything I'm doing all the time. It's like perfect. So if I was editing down these streams and re-uploading them, everything would just be all in the same spot, you know? Like, it's actually kind of perfect. So that was a surprising thing for me to streaming that I think is a big advantage with YouTube. Comparing it against, like, let's say Twitch, for example, right? Like, so with Twitch, there really is only live streaming, so you don't have to worry about some of these issues. So of course with Twitch you're just streaming, but most people would probably tell you with YouTube, no, you can't. You know, you can't just stream it. You have to edit it down and upload it. At least edit it somewhat. Anyway, put this in dismantle. It's also been interesting because I remember when I was always working on editing and working on these bigger projects or videos like all the time. It felt like the what do I want to say? Hit you again. It felt like the like my focus was on putting something out there that was like really high quality, and then I would see other people, and it's I think it's natural for anybody. I'm not saying like they're made worse things or whatever, but I would see other people who would create videos and they would just be these like cut together 40-minute block where they're like barely at all like there's no editing really, and in some points maybe they just leave and come back and it's like what's going on, like why don't you just cut that out? Now with streaming, like I could see with streaming why people wouldn't, but at the time it was sort of like, these people have so many, you know, whatever. Like it's natural to be. I try not to be jealous though. I think like that you got to be careful with that because people spend a lot of time and effort and get to certain points. They have good understandings of games. There's all kinds of factors that play into someone's success that are important. But it was surprising to me. It's like, but of course it is entertaining. Like I would watch these people. That's the thing is like having watched a lot of this type of my type of content really in the past. I really enjoy like Retromation. I enjoy Wander. I enjoy these things. Reroll's cost is 5.2 E. What is happening? Oof. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm only on 602 billion. I'm in the you know early stages. What are we saying? Hold on. See, did I now? True. Let's see. Self-taught developer, engineer, decided on a career change 6 years ago. Super worth. Awesome. Yeah, it's. I think that is always amazing. If you can try to learn something that might eventually be you will like work on and have it as a job, but also like the control you get from that. It's all fantastic. It's a fantastic thing. Let's see. I mean, I'm still getting there. Honestly, I got. It's funny though. So 3.5 years, whatever. We're really like we'd say like 2 something to 3 years in. I switched to streaming, and let's see, pop you over here, Cell. And streaming has been. Yeah, very different. Again, like I'm sort of saying, like you don't have to do this editing, and I can work on these different projects and put them out there, and people. It also fosters community. Like with YouTube, even with Stacklands, which got that video got let's see, sell this got 50,000 views or something like that, something in that area. Okay, sell these. It doesn't really create community. Like, there's like a couple people, but the biggest community members I had up until streaming were people that liked series I did that got less than 100 views. Like, that was my big, like, my community is made up of people who watched me when I had, like, with exclusively videos pretty much like that. Then they would also watch the big ones and comment on them, but they would watch all the other ones and comment on those. But, like, compared to streaming, where I have a Discord, like, I always had a Discord, but I have a Discord with, like, a ton of people, like, a decent amount of people in it, and they chat with me, and developers, and so on. Streaming also allows me to directly, one-on-one, talk to developers. Like, they'll pop into chat, not with, you know, sorry, this game yet, but with other games that I played in the past. And you just have these, like, yeah, interesting conversations. You learn so much more about game dev and so on. And considering it's something I'm kind of meshing with in a lot of ways and commenting on and thinking about, it's nice because they'll pop in and they'll ask me these questions. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Swap this out. So yeah, streaming's just it's been something else. So, but even with that, I became, after, I would say, what has it been? Like 6 or 7 months or something like that of streaming, I got from... I was probably at 600 some odd subscribers back at the beginning of the year or late last year, and then shot up. Now I'm at 1,000, and then, but it's weird because like 2 days ago I got 21 subscribers. Yesterday I got 25 subscribers. It's like very, like with this game is yeah, particularly high. Let's see, put you guys in or Abyssal. I'll do Cosmic. I don't know if I want to do Abyssal swap. What was I saying there? It's odd how it can be very fast. But I hear these things all the time about, like, with streaming. Imagine streaming again for 10 hours thinking you know what you're doing. Whoever pops in chat and says, bro, what are you doing? You're playing it wrong. True, yeah. Developers tend to have a really good understanding of their own games. There was a game, what was the name of that? Reboot Heroes was actually a really interesting one that I played a while back. The premise of it is essentially... you're like this sort of robotic person, and you wake up. It's very like I don't know what's going on at the beginning kind of feel, and you talk to like some starting character. I think you wake up in like an abandoned area. You get a little bit of gear. You have 4 slots for gear. Hey, look at that, right? And you have these it's 4 slots for cards, which are either like attack or defense or whatever. And then you also have some gear that you can like trade in to upgrade your base stats. Again, kind of like this, like dismantling. There's some similarities there actually. Now that I think about it. Story-wise, though, like as you go along, eventually you find these characters like merchant type characters and whatever. Like after you do some fights, you go find characters like that. Let's see, attack, and then you run into other heroes, and you fight these heroes. They're like, they don't remember anything. You're an amnesiac, and so are they. And if you fight them, if you lose, the next, like, you have to fight them again, but you talk to them, and they have like different dialogue. And so there's this kind of like reboot concept throughout, which is like, I've been here before. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm familiar with it all the way through. I don't know where the game is going story-wise, but it's a nice thing because within roguelikes, there is like this, okay, we reset. So if there was actually acknowledgement of that, that's a really nice nice concept. What do I want here? But anyway, so within playing that, because it was a very small game, relatively speaking, the developer was very active in my chat, and it was like, oh, what's going on here, or why is this way, or any of the problems, any of the, like, at points in the description for cards, it's got something that I'm just like, okay, what is it? Does this mean this or mean this? And then the next time I play it, that card's been adjusted based on my feedback, and it's like, oh, that's awesome, right? And a lot of the time as well, playing those types of games fosters communities that are interested in those kinds of games. So then those people are also like, I play the game, then that person's like, oh, this looks cool. They go and play the game. They leave a ton of feedback for the dev. The game continues to be developed, and then the next time I play it, it's like a whole different thing, but largely adjusted based on problems, I guess, that I feel like I would have, and maybe anyone would have, you know, it might not be at all unique to me, but it feels like it, because it's like wording is a big thing. I think within roguelikes, in my perspective, if a card or an item is worded the wrong way, and then I die because I thought, or I get a worse benefit and eventually die because I thought this is going to give me this thing, and instead it gives me that thing, but it's like, well, it was worded in a way that's ambiguous, and most likely means this, but it possibly could mean that, and it ends up being the possibility is what's the reality. Like, that's so frustrating. That's probably like for me one of the biggest frustrations with games like this, because wording is really challenging, especially when developers don't natively speak the language, same language as you. But even when they do speak the same language, it's a challenging one for sure. Anyway, what are we saying here? Let me read a little bit. Read a little bit. I've been rambling. We're rambling for a while. Let's see. Hold on. Game. What engine? Let's see, income, job possibilities, plus making my own indie game, which allows me to have an extra revenue stream. Yeah, indie game. I feel like with YouTube from the very beginning, the first thing that I ever looked at was a game called, first game I looked at, oh, Dazzle, at long last. It's been a long time. Dazzle Necklace. Thank you very much. Dismantle. So the first game I ever looked at was a game called Hammerhelm. Hammerhelm is it's an indie game. The reason I looked at the game was because I thought it was a little different than it was. What I was really looking for when I found Hammerhelm, or what I don't know, what I thought that it was and what I was so inspired by, enough to actually start a YouTube channel, because I'd never thought of doing that, really. Like, I've watched YouTube since forever, but I didn't figure out ever be a YouTuber or whatever that is, right? But I saw, let's see, Hammerhelm on Reddit, I think. I wasn't even a Redditor. I was looking up and trying to find a game. I had this idea in my head, and I saw Hammerhelm. Okay, this is that. Where you would have a base that you would be building, and then also enemies would come and attack it, and you have to defend from those enemies, and then you would go on expeditions to try to get more things to build the base bigger, and then enemies would continue attacking. Kind of like, there's a couple games I would think of that are kind of similar to this concept. One of them, you could say, maybe Orcs Must Die, in terms of the way that enemies are attacking and the solid structuring of the game. The second one being definitely Colony Survival, I believe, or Colony Survival it is, which is like you build up a base out of blocks. It's kind of Minecraft looking a little bit, and then enemies come in. You can make it so they only have one path, and you can put up like, then the core of the game is getting resources so that you can hire in colony members, and then they will do tasks for you, like defending your base or grabbing berries to feed other colony members, and then it just like kind of cycles like that, where you're getting better and better food sources to support all these people to better defend the base, and the more people you have, the more enemies that attack, and so it's a really it's basically exactly what I was looking for. I eventually found that game, and it's very proof of concept and not very polished relative to what you might imagine, like, oh, this perfect fantastical idea where everything is so pretty and it all works exactly in the way that I want. Probably isn't very likely, but still, it's a fantastic game. Anyway, so Hammerhelm was the first one, though, and I thought that this is what that would be. Hammerhelm is a little bit more like your more classical, maybe adventure RPG, where you have a town full of people, you can go and buy and sell from those people, you go, you fight enemies, you get some item, you come back, it upgrades the town a little bit, but you're not really getting attacked at the town, you're only getting attacked if you go on adventures. So it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, but it was a cool game anyway, and I enjoyed it. And I had to learn so much just to put out a video, and the videos, of course, are, you know, my speaking, whatever, my mic, my everything. Everything is, it's not optimal, but still, it's my first video, and it is what it is, and you learn from there. Started me on the direction. Okay, so there's your great tales, expanding tales. And a career change 6 years ago, super worth, yeah. For me, it's just extra income, job possibility, plus making an own indie game, and that's also, it's kind of part of the reason why I think with indie gaming, I especially have this like feeling of connection, because with something like that, the amount of work it takes to just learn how to record something and sort of try to make it entertaining, learn how to structure a video, learn how to do all these different things, learn how to, like, with audio and everything else, and it's like, with a game, you have all of these things, like thumbnail making, which is like sort of art design starting to get into it. Games, you have way more of that, like with the music, with scripting, like all these different things, and it's like this is, and then in addition, above all of these things, with indie gaming, there is the requirement to like with YouTube, you get this feedback loop. But with indie games, it's like you can get it with indie games as well, as long as you have people that get brought in, like beta testers to a certain extent. But with YouTube, it's just like there for you. It's always there for you. You have to like find it and build it in a very real way, I think, with indie game making. And then a lot of the time, people just don't. Like a lot of small indie game developers don't have any kind of group of people that looks at the game, or not really anyway. They don't have like some public facing existence in that way, and so they don't get this feedback loop, and so then it's like you could work on it for a whole year, and then you put it out and just nothing happens and nobody cares, and it's like, or you could even, or maybe that doesn't even happen, but you're working the whole year working on it, you're imagining that's what's going to happen. Like that, to me, the ability to push through that and make something is pretty inspiring. So I think I really resonate with that. Like, that's really awesome, you know, that's a really cool thing. As someone who's like a YouTuber and in ways, like, does things similarly. Let's see. Plus, of course, I also like the idea of indie game making because so many directions you can just learn infinitely about to try to get good at. You know, it's in and of itself, it's interesting. Sell. Extra income, job possibility. Bro, my rerolls cost 5.2E. What is happening? Let's see. Inflation. True. Good luck with your game. What engine? YouTube bud. Working on Godot. Okay, sell these. Working on Godot. Learned Unity and C+, but things happened. Fair. Most brilliant infinite rogue. Let's see. Sell. Roguelike indie game idea, but it's too much for me to do alone, and so that game may never come to life. Interesting. Imagine streaming a game for 10 hours thinking, you know, yeah, we're doing that. Dev comes in. Good to have ideas. Yeah, ideas. Toughest part, yeah, is actually doing it. Yeah, 100%. And that's for sure. I found that with YouTube in general, both as a YouTuber in responding to people who have, not like in terms of pain, like if you are a dev or interested in stuff, it's ideas are great. But in general, with YouTube, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, just do this, or oh, just do that, or this is a good idea. But actually putting it into practice is like an immensely difficult thing. And sometimes what's insulting, like that's totally fine to have ideas, that's great. But where they're like, oh, just do this, oh, just do this, and it's like, okay, and you'd have more subscribers. I got a comment like that today, for example. It's like, oh, if you just did this, you'd have more subscribers. It's like, okay, buddy, if you think you could have more subscribers, just go for it, right? Try it out. But don't do what you're doing right now, you know. Anyway. Let's see. And I'm sure devs get that quite a lot of like, oh, just do this. Add multiplayer, right? I hear like that's a very common one. No, and if you said add multiplayer, you know, it's no offense, but I think with small games, it's like adding multiplayer is a very complicated and difficult thing to do in a game not designed to have multiplayer in it from the get-go. And so when a ton of fans are just like, oh, add it, it's like, can we please get suggestions? If you're going to give suggestions, just don't give that one. Anyway, let's see. Too big of a dream, considering how many ideas I have. Fair. Another thing is too big a dream. Dwarf Fortress exists. It might be over 10x size of Megaloot sort of room. Yeah, in general, I mean, I don't know if you have experience, like, or if you are at all game dev oriented paying there, but I believe, like I've heard it's good to start with kind of small projects and then kind of build your way up as much as you can, like do something really, like Megaloot. I mean, Megaloot's already would be a big ordeal, I think, for a newer dev especially. I mean, it's not like a AAA game or something, you know, like, but like the endless amount of experience from so many different people that it requires. But I would imagine like this, the balancing of all these different statistics, the character art and so on, like it's pretty polished relative to a lot of indie games. So 10x the size would be, yeah, quite an undertaking. Make AAA game on your own, but if you can keep your goals small, like a Game Boy game, complexity, let's say Stardew Valley, Undertale, you can do it. I'm gonna eat. Making connections, going to conventions helps in making connections and knowing people who can help in the dev world. Yeah, and that's the thing that I had thought, because there was a dev that one of the other devs that I was talking to, he made Boar Blasters was a game that another indie game where I talked to the dev some anyway. What do I want here? Okay, so now we are at a point. I'll put Faith. I'll put the turtle in. Dismantle. So the developer for Boar Blasters, which is I don't know if you ever played that game. There's this old mining game where you play as like this box-looking drill car thing, and you just go straight down into the depths, and you try your best to get as much gems and whatever, and then bring them up, and then upgrade your vehicle, and then go further down. Like you get stronger drill to be able to drill through stronger stone or whatever. You get more items and so on. I'm sure maybe you're familiar from that. So it's kind of like that, only you're like this flying helicopter thing, and you're shooting, but still kind of similar. And then also enemies come from different sides of the map, and you're still trying to go down and then come back up, or like find fuel and go down further and so on, and reach this exit point. So a cool premise, and I liked the similarity that it had with another game that I liked, or like that I already knew or familiar with. So I took a look at that one. I talked to some with the dev of it because I had seen that some devs had like talked to other devs and had this network, and so I asked like, hey, I started talking to other YouTubers. It's done this great amount of help to me where I can say the things that I'm thinking, and then I can hear their thoughts and think about new ideas and just different ways that I've been able to do alone. Because again, like for the first couple of years, I was just doing it on my own. And so I said, okay, like, do you have like that with the dev world? And he said, well, no, I've never really reached out to other devs. I mean, it sounds like it might be good. And so it was kind of an interesting conversation, just try to like impose on that, like, okay, well, here's how it is for me. Maybe it wouldn't work the same for you, but like, I think it's a really worthwhile thing. And So it was an interesting conversation as well to kind of just like run through all of that with the dev there and be able to get their feedback and what they think about like YouTube and comparing it and their experience with dev stuff. All that stuff is just fantastic. Okay. What are we saying? Again, I've been rambling. Okay. Making connections, conventions. Let's say 3x the size of Stardew Valley. Everything planned, but just can't do it alone. Still do it one step at a time. Take main game and future expansion DLC if it succeeds with the core gameplay. Okay, so let's see. One system at a time, one piece of art at a time, it all comes together. Try Dwarf Fortress Deadeye. For 80 games, maybe something novel or that hasn't been done. Combination of other games, different aspects you find appealing. I mean, I think no game has really been able to do as good of a job of getting to what my brain says to be amazing as Colony Survival. In regards to like the specific idea of building up a base, defending from enemies, and having members or like people that you control and that harvest for you and so on. I think that game has done like a just unbelievably good job of that, but also is very like it in and of itself is also very simple, but it's been rewarded. Like, I mean, even like Markiplier played Colony Survival. It was massive in its time, and since that came out, like even we say, okay, it's just like a Colony Survival ripoff, like this is just, it's just whatever, it's fine, it's nothing crazy, or like it's got slight tweaks to it, but it's not like it's some novel new idea. I feel like it's weird to me that I haven't seen more games try to do what Colony Survival did. Maybe I just missed them, or maybe they just weren't that interesting. I don't know. But I mean, it seems odd to me. Did I get this from one enemy just like dropping it and giving it to me that was in this slot? The odds. Okay. I feel like it's odd that I haven't seen more games try that out, considering the success of that game. So I would say that's probably a direction I would think would make sense to go. But maybe there have been, you know, you'd want to do some market research or whatever, you know, make sure that maybe I could just be mistaken. There could be tons of games that have tried and failed. Just seems odd though, considering Colony Survival's level of success and general simplicity. No offense to the game. I mean, it has been also worked on extensively to try to make it better in its direction, but why not go a slightly different direction, make it a little more simple, try to keep it maybe more similar to Orcs Must Die, like maybe you can call the waves and then be attacked and then you get some reward for beating them, just something like that though. Anyway, first work is not commercially successful. You learn a ton every day. You refine processes, get smarter with design, get better prototyping and scrapping. Okay, so how much? What are these again? Precision? How much precision do I have? 1.3k. Probably is fine then. Okay, sell this and attack. Commercially successful. Yeah. That's true of YouTube as well. I didn't get monetized. It took me three and a half years again. It took me like 3.5 years to get monetized on YouTube, and I think that's worth it. Like people talk about like a lot of people takes like 1 year, but okay, maybe you know a late getter to there. That's a funny thing though, is like people say it takes about 1 year to get monetized on YouTube, but that's generally because if you don't get monetized on YouTube in 1 year, you probably quit. Most people probably would quit. Like it's, and then also most like probably 90% of YouTubers don't become. I don't know. No, 90% might be even a. Probably like 99%. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I have no idea. But I've seen so many YouTubers not make it. And so similarly to dev work, if you keep going and keep working and so on, I think eventually it probably pays off. It's just, will you be able to keep going? Will you be able to? And so on. But again, it's okay if you won't, right? Like with YouTube, for example, if I had stopped 2 years ago because it's just like, okay, maybe this isn't for me, that's fine, right? Or like I've thought about with YouTube, because I've seen so many people drop off of it, drop off of the ladder, or stop going for it. It feels like with that set of people, sometimes that's for the best. And people also who have stuck to it, but who seem so miserable sticking to it that it's like, okay, like I can understand and appreciate because YouTube is so important to you and because you spend all this time on it and so on, but don't, like, if you're completely miserable, maybe it is a sign to back off. Like I haven't felt that way, and so but I can understand. I can understand that people do. Okay, pop. I just don't. I feel like at that point, maybe it is a good sign to turn back. And maybe the same is true of dev work. It's just like if doing the thing, not even doing the thing, because there have been days where I really didn't want to do YouTube, where I just didn't want to go live or whatever. But mostly it's because of like external things. I don't think I've ever really like resented YouTube particularly. And I would say the same thing of like game design. But then like resenting doing the process to make it happen is one thing, and maybe resenting the process or like the outcome is another. Like when I listen back to my voice, I've never felt this. I don't know. Okay. I'm going in circles a little bit here because I've seen a lot of YouTubers actually do complain though about this. Like, whenever I hear my voice, I just hate it or whatever. Like big YouTubers who've gotten very successful and probably done a ton of editing and a ton of work still have that feeling. So maybe that's a little bit of a, maybe I'm wrong there, because you might be fine even if you have that feeling. Yeah, it's just very individual. It's hard to say. It just feels to me like if you're really super miserable, maybe it's a bad, maybe that could be bad time to keep going. Okay, look what he's saying here though. First work is not commercially successful, you get a ton every day, learn. But yeah, learning and refining is what it's all about. Also, sustainability, in my perspective, sustainability is like the #1 thing, is just like whatever you're doing, if you're doing like something where it's gonna maybe take a long time to get it sorted out, or you don't have any control over whether that takes a long time or not, you really should try to make it so that you could be happy and just do it every day. Don't obsess or like lock in and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna do this until it works." You just gotta give yourself space to because you will get a lot further if you do, and you'll make like all the things that you want will happen, but only if you give yourself room to make them happen. Okay. Let's see. Valuable than what to keep. Even if your first work's not just, let's see. Knowing what to call is more valuable than what to keep. Scope creep is real. Let's see. Sell these. Focus on making something polished, add it to my portfolio, like a Final Fantasy with Enter the Dungeon. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it really depends on where you're at. Like, I think there's a guy in my group channel, whatever you want to call it, Lafadev, that is like very game dev focused, and I've seen some of his like early stuff, or was it Lafadev or no? It was Lafadev. Like some of his work so far, and like the early stuff, like there was like a coin flip thing where you just flip a coin, and then whatever it lands on, like it gives you can get 1 coin for like every time it lands, and then there's like some upgrade system where after getting a certain amount of money, you can like press a button to trade in that money, like and then it'll give you like a bonus. I think it was like initially if it's a spin coin. You spin the coin, right. You spin this coin, and when it lands on heads, you get a second coin. If it lands on tails, nothing happens. And lag cam. Oh, stuff. Oh no. Why? Why is it lagging? What? Okay, we coming back? What is going on? Dropped frames. Okay, are we here? Can we see me, hopefully? Games like Star Spectre, let's see, hold on, let me scroll down. Heart game, we're just ever just lag out. Here game, cam is totally lagging. Oh, that's odd. Stop now. Okay, good. Weird, though. That's very random. Very random issue. All right, sell all this. We can hear you, it's just a PowerPoint, though. Odd. Yeah, but why? Why? Control escape. Memory 42%. No. Can hear but can't see. Why? Why? Okay. Well, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to skip through this part. But is it my internet low right now? Is that what's happening, or internet speed test? It shouldn't be. Run speed tests. No, no, it's fast. Audio okay, just okay. Interesting. Yeah, it says dropped frames, but it's not my internet. Upload. Okay, close this. Cancel. Stop. Kinda. Okay. No, yeah, it's still low though. It's at 2,000 kilobytes, but my internet's fine, seemingly. 4,700, 2,000. It's just low. Why? Cancel the test. Close this. OBS speed dropped. Frames. Dropped frames. Frames random. Audio's fine, just visual, not a data leak. Data leak? Not sure. Only be caused by a failure of the internet connection or your network hardware. It's not caused by OBS. Strictly a network issue, but OBS can help. Drop frames, quick fix, enable dynamic bit rate. Do relive? No. Only be caused by a failure in your internet connection or networking hardware. It's not caused by OBS. It's strictly a network issue. OBS can help. Follow the troubleshooting steps that drop frames and general connection issues. What's this? Okay. Yeah. But it's through Restream, so it's not because I'm streaming two places. Drop frames, general connection issues. Possible cause of drops frames. Dynamic bit rate. But I can't change that one live, can I? 3,700. Why is it? What is it doing? Switch from manually selected service to auto. Okay, let me see. Is it possible? It might be provider. That's relive. Do it. Hold on. Settings. See if that worked. No, JM. No, that would split my stream in half. I would have 2 streams again. I really would rather not do that unless I absolutely have to. Stream output. Streaming, recording, 8,000. Like, do I lower? I could lower my bit rate, maybe. Can I? Let's see. Let's try that. Let's try lowering it. If I lower my bit rate, it just slows it down a little. It lowers the quality from here, right? Would that work? Apply. Does that work? Okay, see if I can do that live. When in doubt, turn off and on, but it sucks for a stream. Yeah, really bad. Well, it's not because of the stream. It's because of YouTube's end that it's really bad. Could try 4,000, apply. But no, it's 2,000. It's my bit rate's at about 1,300, but it fluctuates up to 4,000 sometimes. Dropped frames, it's showing an unbelievable amount of dropped frames, but why? Max frames 3. Max B frames, what does that mean? Profile. Quality. What if we, okay, I'll do balanced, apply. Is there some way to fix this live, or do I have to? Profile high, what does that mean? Main baseline? Oh, it sucks. It sucks though. I don't want to do that. What's wrong with my internet? Okay, 3,200. Okay, it's showing it as yellow now instead of red. Okay, maybe I need to go even lower. 3,000. We can do 3,000. That doesn't make sense though, right? If I do that, apply. 4,000. Okay. Okay, there we go. So if it's on 3,000 bit rate, that would make the quality horrible. Is the quality horrible? How does that work? hopefully not. It fluctuates. It fluctuates a lot. Well, it's still red. Dang. With Greg Tech wrench. True. Okay. Gosh, why is it fluctuating so bad? Are you? Let's see. Okay, it is crazy. What is going on? Computer, bad computer percussion repairs. Yes, true. Okay, I don't understand. Okay, 3,000. Yeah, I can't continue if it's at that point, but that's terrible. 100 floors Megaloot. Okay, maybe I stop and then we'll do like a series of streams from 100 floors up to way better now. Okay, maybe it'll adjust, and then let me try moving it back up to 8,000 kilobytes and see, because it's been at 3,000 for a while, but I don't know why that would matter. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can fix this, because it should be crappy quality right now, right? And then I apply. Let me see if it skyrockets there. Thank you. Okay, I have no idea what was causing that. Please stay high. Go up. Come on. Hit the 8,000. It's getting better, but I guess you are moving slower. Gotcha. 3,000 again. 4,000. 2,000. Dang, and then it just plummets. Yeah. Okay, well, my internet is screwed. Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you still hear me. This is a disaster. I don't understand what's wrong. But maybe I will try streaming floor 133 and up. I don't know. Bug thing, what's up? Yeah, because clearly it's not working. Okay, well, apologies. Do subscribe and follow and all that if you're around and aren't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.